or in the iconic Joburg CBD.
702.
Walk the talk.
Babize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
8 minutes after 6 o'clock. Welcome to the program on this Wednesday, the 22nd of July, the year of our Lord 2026. My name indeed is Bongani Bingwa. So much on the go in the news cycle right now. My goodness. The Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, what's the way forward? Advocate Andrea Johnson, the head of IDAC, has invoked her right not to incriminate herself. She's denied political interference. So what does that mean? How does she deny political interference if she can't explain her role in it? Or if, more accurately, she won't explain her role in it. She says she can't testify on the specific charge related to Top Cop Feroz Khan and whether or not she gave him a docket about an ongoing investigation in which he was the central accused. But she answered those questions before the ad hoc committee, did she not? Yesterday, we told you about the Legal Practice Council and how it may have to reinstate Malisa Latifo. Remember, he was struck off the roll in 2022, I think it was. He's been cleared of 6 charges by the Pretoria Magistrates Court. So does that then mean an automatic reinstatement? The LPC says not so fast, because some of the reasons they wanted him to be struck off had nothing to do with the 6 of which he was cleared. But even if they did, there'd be a process to follow. And our big interview this morning, is it time to disband and dismantle NSFAS?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
2018, I think it was, NSFAS had just been given yet another administrator. We spoke to him here on 702 Breakfast. This was a guy who was well qualified. He had a background at the Revenue Service. If he couldn't fix it, well, quite frankly, no one could. But here we are all these years later. I think we're on a third successor now, rinse and repeat. And every year it seems we face the same problem as thousands of NSFAS-funded students await their allowances. There's been some talk around disbanding this behemoth entirely and funding the institutions and the students directly. That itself isn't without risks. We'll speak to the Deputy Higher Education Minister, Yusuf Kasim, who has agreed to come into the studio to talk to us about what the way forward might be for NSFAS.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
11 minutes after 6 o'clock. I want to know from you this morning, how do you deal with an evasive person? Clearly somebody who doesn't like to take accountability. And instead of a direct answer when you raise an issue, they're evasive. They twist and they turn and they squirm and they're up and they're down and they turn all around. But instead of giving you a direct answer, they'll take you to Paris and Paris. They'll take you to Perth, right? And Pittsburgh, when really all you want to do is get to Rosebank down the road. How do you deal with that person in relationships? How do you deal with that person in your place of work? Especially if they're a subordinate. Because sometimes when you raise an issue, what do you really want? You want one of 3 things. You want A, an acknowledgement that something that happened ought not to have happened. And that's, of course, one of the first ways in which you make sure it doesn't happen again, right? Some acknowledgement, oh, I see it, got it. Hopefully a way to fix it, if it can be fixed. So not only an acknowledgement, maybe some way of repairing the damage that has been caused, if that is possible. But ultimately, as I say, the overarching thing is you don't want a repeat of the same mistake. That's what you are really gunning for. So it's not personal. It's not because I don't like what Ray White is wearing. I don't like that color of shirt. It just doesn't bring out the color on his face. That's not what it is. It's not because I don't like Amuhelang's earrings. And if you're not watching our YouTube stream, you would know then I'm hinting at the return of the great Amuhelang Ramila. Good morning.
Very good morning. Thank you so much.
Hope you enjoyed
Bongani.
your leave.
I did. I did enjoy the rest. I'm happy to be back.
Leave is such a scam, hey?
It
When
is
you told
indeed.
us you'd be off for a few days, it seemed so long.
I was so excited.
But it was gone in a flash.
in a flash. Like I was just gone yesterday.
And now you're back. Like the rest of us. Ray, how do you deal with an invasive person? You're a manager.
Yeah.
You've got somebody, one of your subordinates, one of the people you are responsible for, and they just won't ever get to the point when they are faced with a direct question.
I just imagine it's the 7:15 interview on 7:02 breakfast, and I just annihilate them. I get right to the point. That's how I do it.
Amo?
You would have to deal with that as a producer here, particularly if you're working with a group of people like reporters or spokespeople and what have you. And if you want to get a certain interview, they would take you from pillar to post instead of saying the person is not available. Done, right? And you just keep on asking, is this possible? No, it's not possible because of this and that. So I just go back to the same question I've asked you.
You keep repeating the
I
same
keep
question.
repeating the
I'll
same
give you
question.
another chance to answer the question. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to figure out what we might be talking about. I want to bring you up to speed with what happened at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry yesterday. IDEC head advocate Andrea Johnson testifying about investigator assignments and how it all works. You remember, of course, we heard from the investigator Brian Padiachi that he went ahead and charged people without looking at the original affidavit upon which the complaints were based. And so Andrea Johnson, as the head of IDEC, is being asked, well, first of all, who appoints investigators? How does it all work? Surely before they go and charge people, you would be concerned to hear that this guy never even read the original affidavit upon which the charges would be formulated. How was it all supposed to work? Have a listen.
Advocate Johnson, from a different angle, I understood from Colonel Padiaki that it is you who designates an investigator to handle a particular case. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So the starting point is the Section 27 affidavit, the referral. At that stage, the investigator does not have anything else because the investigation has not commenced. So when you designate him to start the investigation, what then do you give him?
Chair, when at the time the designation happens, the team would have gone through the Section 27 document and they would have come up with an application setting out what they see as suspected offences, who might be implicated, and what kind of investigation, if they are able to at that stage identify, must be conducted. It's an application and sets out a summary of the facts as well that would then support the application. They, in turn, as part of the designation, they put down the names of the persons who will form part of that team to conduct the investigation and the prosecution. That is the designation I signed, together with the Section 28 authorization. So what they then have is an authorization setting out offences and allegations, persons to be investigated, perhaps resources required, a summary of facts, and this is what they need to go and do. They then take that and they are able to then sit amongst themselves and operationalize this document in terms of what is the work that needs to be done.
Simple question. You've appointed an investigator. Amo is accused of something. You've appointed Ray White to go and investigate this thing of which Amo is accused, right? Clement made this accusation.
Yeah.
Surely then, Ray, as the investigator, the first thing you do is, what did Clement say?
That would be the first step.
How does it work?
Exactly.
She gave that explanation.
Yeah.
Did you make sense of any of it? And in true Amo fashion, they kept insisting, no, sweetie, just explain it, man. Make it make sense.
Then let me ask you this. From that stage, when you accept the application or you approve it, until the 25th of June in 2025, when you write to the DPP saying you want people to be charged, at no stage during that process do you satisfy yourself that your investigator has seen the Section 27 referral. So you now, as head of IDEC, at no stage do you satisfy yourself that the person on whose affidavit you are relying to bring these charges, on whose affidavit you are relying to ask for a warrant of arrest. You now, as Advocate Johnson, at no stage do you satisfy yourself that he has seen the Section 27 referral.
I do not ask that question because it is given to the team. And I work, and Commissioner Komalo might say to me, but incorrectly so. I work on the assumption that once all documents, approvals, and authorities are given to the team accesses it all. They share it because they have to sit, they have to do the planning, they have to work out what needs to be done. So short of someone raising a complaint or escalating to my office that in this team, I am not getting access to documents, I will not be aware that these documents that are given are not shared.
Make it make sense. And when she's pressed further, she then says, "Ooh, I don't want to incriminate myself. So what must the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry do now?" Have you dealt with somebody like that in your workplace, in your relationship, in your friendship circle, in your family? They just won't give a straight answer.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
18 after 6, Ray, you've got a question of your own?
Yes, where would you like to live in South Africa? If you could buy any dream home, if you had unlimited cash, choice of area in South Africa, where?
Sort of Hangwani Mulawutsi money type money, right?
Yeah, that kind of
Firstly,
thing.
I wouldn't buy 2 houses in Sandhurst, right? Because that makes no sense to me.
At all.
Ooh, I don't know, a house in Fresno or somewhere like that in Cape Town, right? Maybe an apartment at the Michelangelo or something like that.
Why an
Something
apartment
down
there?
in Umhlanga.
Yeah.
You know, sort of move
How
about.
many houses are these?
He said unlimited money.
Unlimited cash,
Okay.
Hangwani cash.
Okay.
But I wouldn't buy them in the same suburb as Hangwani did.
Okay.
But
All
I'm
right.
thinking Atlantic seaboard vibes. Yabona nje.
Yeah.
Would you do like the Bantry Bay thing? Would you do that?
I mean,
He's
this is like what type of caviar would you choose?
702.
Weather.
20 after 6, this weather report brought to you by Subaru. From school runs in the rain to roads less traveled, Subaru keeps your journey moving, whatever the weather. A fine day in store for Gauteng. Temperatures in Joburg still maxing at 21. They have done so for the last 3 days, I think. Vereeniging slightly higher today at 22. Pretoria 24. Bombela maxes at 26. Polokwane at 23. That's the same high for Mahikeng. That's 23, that is. Durban 25. Gqeberha 19. East London 22. Cape Town partly cloudy, maxing at 17.
Some mornings, the world feels uncertain. The sky turns, the road changes, and then there's that feeling. The quiet grip of the road beneath you, the calm in every turn. It's not just how it drives, it's how it takes care of you and the people you love. And somewhere between the first drop of rain and the road ahead, you realize you've fallen in love. Subaru carries you through life's weather. Fall in love with Subaru's all-weather confidence. Book a test drive on subaru.co.za.
EWN Traffic.
21 after 6, let's have a first look at the roads and, of course, a welcome return. Welcome
Thank
back.
you. Thank you once more,
Amoramela.
Bongani. Thank you. Well, we've got delays in Eldorado Park. This is on the N12 East. A car stuck on the road. It's on the shoulder of the left lane. This is between Klipspruit Valley Road and the Golden Highway. As a result, we do have delays there. There's also queuing traffic in Devland along the Golden Highway between Union Avenue and East Street. While heading towards the Joburg CBD, expect about a 20-minute hold-up already on the Mark 1 North between Boysons Road and Carr Street. This will delay you for about 40 minutes to reach the Joburg CBD. While traveling on the N3 North, queuing traffic between the Yellands Interchange and Van Buren Road. We'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Elevate your flying experience with Lyft Premium. Enjoy even more space, comfort, and convenience with priority boarding, extra baggage allowance, and complimentary lounge access. Visit lyft.co.za today.
The pain of losing a loved one is never easy. It will leave you feeling overwhelmed. At Clientele, we understand that burying loved ones with dignity truly matters. Our funeral plans pay out cash within just 24 hours, and you receive 200 Rand airtime when you claim to make those important calls. Plus, we cover up to 13 people on one plan. SMS funeral to 31586. That's 31586. Clientele Life is an authorized FSP and licensed life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
Find your next design obsession at Decorex Joburg. From the 30th of July to the 2nd of August, the Sandton Convention Centre becomes the destination for the latest in decor and design. Explore over 450 exhibitors across 5 levels, inspiring talks and live demos, plus the property show by Private Property. Download the Decorex app and plan your visit today. Decorex Joburg, 30th July to 2nd August. Tickets at decorex.co.za and at the door.
Ready to buy your dream car, put an offer in on a new house, or take out that personal loan? Make 2026 your year with Postnet and Huru. Visit your nearest Postnet store to get a comprehensive credit report from 4 of SA's leading credit bureaus sent straight to your phone. For only 135 Rand, take charge of your future with a clear picture of your financial position and how to improve it. Why second guess your credit rating when you can be certain? Get your Huru and Kudo credit report at Postnet today. Postnet, helping you succeed.
RMB has once again been recognized at the prestigious Euro Money Awards for Excellence 2026. The recognition of Best Investment Bank for Africa in South Africa, along with other awards, reflect RMB's ability to help corporates and institutions navigate complex decisions, unlock investments, and drive growth across Africa. So catch In Conversation with RMB tomorrow on 702 Breakfast as we unpack what these awards mean and how RMB continues to deliver value. RMB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider on 702.
702.
Add your voice.
Have your say.
Let's walk the talk.
Bongani, good morning. And I'm so glad that you actually brought up this question, because people that actually end up on Madlanga Commission, they just go around the bush. They irritate the out of me. And, I've noticed that people that basically say that, they are lying. And, for them to cover up their lies, they have to go around the bush. I get irritated. Thank you, guys. Great show.
Thank you for that voice note. Keep them coming. How do you deal with evasive people? They never give you a straight answer. They'll take you to Timbuktu and China, and you just want to get to Rosebank.
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
Have you ever thought about owning an exotic or at least an unusual pet? I remember when my daughter was younger, I saw a guinea pig at a pet shop being sold. Listen to this. A London bus driver made an unusual discovery over the weekend after finding a frightened, what would they call them? Marmoset, right? A marmoset. This is a small monkey, often kept as an exotic pet, and it was hidden inside a laundry bag in the bus. The monkey has now been nicknamed Oyster after London's travel card was found inside a small cage, dehydrated and stressed. Apparently, after being abandoned, it's raised concerns among animal welfare groups that more monkeys could be dumped. So England has new laws requiring primate owners to obtain licenses and to provide zoo-level care standards, effectively making it much harder to keep monkeys as pets. So the owner of this little creature just abandoned it because they couldn't comply with the new rules. Have you ever considered an exotic or at least an unusual pet? Amo? A snake for the kids?
No.
No?
Mm-mm. Not even a fish. No.
Not even a fish?
Not even a fish, no. A pet, for me, it has to be a dog or a cat. That's all I am willing to have in the house.
Mean mummy, Ray?
Well, a friend of mine actually had a marmoset monkey, and it used to jump on our heads, but it used to jump on my head and open fire. It went to the bathroom. So, on my head. Yeah. So that
does that explain the hair loss?
Yeah, I didn't never grew back.
Listen, now there's a fight. The makers of Ozempic and Wegovy, Novo Nordisk, are suing their rival pharmaceutical company, Eli Lilly, accusing them of misleading consumers through advertising, suggesting that their weight loss drugs are more effective. So Ozempic, of course, is an injection mainly used to treat type 2 diabetes, while Wegovy contains the same active ingredient at a higher dose and is specifically approved for weight loss management. Novo alleges that Eli Lilly unfairly compares its drugs, Mounjaro for diabetes and Zepbound for weight loss, against lower doses of Ozempic and Wegovy. can we just get everybody on these things who needs them? That's what I think matters. Norway unveiling a new national memorial to honor 77 people killed in the country's deadliest peacetime terror attack almost 15 years after it happened. Adam Gilchrist will tell us more on that in The World View. And the city of Cleveland, Ohio, was founded on this day in 1796 by General Moses Cleveland, who actually had an additional A in his name, but they wanted that to be a newspaper headline. It was too big at the time for how they printed it, so they simply dropped the A because it was meant to be Cleve, like Cleve, with an EA. They simply removed the A because it still made the same difference, I suppose, as they would say. Have you ever had your name misspelt or changed by mistake and somehow the new version became part of your life? We all think of Leta Mbuli, right? She is, in fact, Leta Mbulu. Somebody changed the I to the U to an I for some other reason. It was only when she came back from exile that she said, actually, my name is Mbulu, not Mbuli. Isn't that interesting?
702.
The newspapers.
Let's look at the papers. Sfiso Zulu, Business Day, board exodus deepens PIC crisis. The front page of the Sowetan, how Joe Ferrari cheated death. What have you got?
Well, I've got a story out of Somalia. The government there is concerned about security with WhatsApp over a new feature that would let users use username, because WhatsApp is planning on introducing this feature. So the communications minister says it could make it harder to track criminals, including Al-Shabaab militants who have used WhatsApp for extortion and propaganda. So the Somalia's
Explain
economy.
the feature. How does it work?
So you, instead of using your cell number, now you're going to use your username. So you won't have to use your 071.
So nobody knows what my number is.
Yes, exactly. But now Somalian government is saying this will make it hard to trace people who are going to use WhatsApp for nefarious reasons like Al-Shabaab militants and that sort of thing.
Because I could just go around calling myself Sfiso Zulu,
exactly,
for example.
so we won't be able to trace you.
And do all sorts of things under that name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
EWN.
Ray White wants to know, if you could live anywhere in South Africa, where would you buy your dream home? If you had unlimited money and choice, what would you choose? And I said it's rather like asking me what my favorite caviar would be, beluga or Osatrava.
You've been dreaming, haven't
One has
you?
buttery flavors, the other quite nutty.
My word.
This is a life I will never live, Ray. Even if I win the lotto. What prompts the question?
Well, latest figures show that only 6% of residential property transactions were carried out by foreigners in this country over the past decade. But the figures released by Lightstone show that foreigners purchased nearly 40% of homes over 20 million rand over the same period. And why I'm saying this comes to the news that Forbes Global Properties plans to begin operating in Cape Town with a focus on Wineland Estates, Atlantic Seaboard Properties, private game reserves, also luxury coastal properties. It'll be headed by property entrepreneur Keegan Steyn. Now, the company has a referral network in over 35 countries, but Bongs, I'm afraid, in case you were wondering, it's by invitation only.
And I can't afford it, can I? Gosh, back to reality. The markets and the rand?
Yeah, Asian markets open stronger due to strong sentiment over semiconductors. On Wall Street, the main indices all ending higher. Our rand 1644 looking better against the dollar. Pound 2201. Euro 1876. Platinum $1,667.19. Gold now also stronger. $4,125.20. But Brent crude oil, a major problem, $92.22. More business news in an hour.
Trouble in the north. Swiss Zulu, what you got?
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. 2 men, including a Gauteng police officer, have been killed during a violent altercation at a mine in Limpopo. Police say a shooting happened in Mahlokwane village yesterday, where the victims allegedly claimed to have a court order to stop mining operations there and said they held shares at the mine. Officers say the men first visited the mine last week Friday to meet the owner, but left after he failed to arrive. They then returned yesterday, and while they were waiting for the owner, they were confronted by a group of people who arrived in several vehicles. Limpopo Police spokesperson Malisela Litwaba.
It is alleged that an altercation erupted when a group went to the mine claiming that they have a court order to stop the operations. While waiting, several vehicles arrived and a fight broke out. One man was killed at the scene, a second died in a local hospital. One of the deceased is a 40-year-old SAPS member from Gauteng.
SASSA has indicated that it is stepping up efforts to improve service delivery after widespread complaints over long queues at its offices. Government has announced plans to deploy more than 1,000 contract workers across the country to help process grant applications, beneficiary inquiries, and social grant reviews. The workers will assist with grant applications, beneficiary inquiries, and ongoing social grant reviews, while some offices will also extend operating hours. Social Development Minister Dina Pule says the appointments follow complaints about overcrowded offices and long queues.
This will include extending operating hours in SASSA offices to enable more clients to be served, to avoid them visiting SASSA offices, so we visit them.
A child rights group says repeated delays in the sentencing of convicted pedophile Ian Weyes are denying justice to survivors in both South Africa and Scotland. Women and Men Against Child Abuse has raised concerns that the delays could also affect Weyes' extradition to Scotland, where he's wanted to stand trial on child sexual abuse charges. Dozens accuse the 87-year-old of abusing them while he was a teacher at two schools in Scotland in the 1960s and 70s. In South Africa, Weyes was found guilty of assaulting a former pupil at Rondebosch Boys School in 1988. Ntutuzelo Nene has more.
Ian Weyes' sentencing in the South African case is expected to resume next month after several postponements. The National Prosecuting Authority has previously said Weyes must first serve any sentence imposed in South Africa before he can be extradited. Women and Men Against Child Abuse spokesperson Claudine Shields says the ongoing delays are an injustice to all of Weyes' survivors.
With Mr. Ware's extradition case coming up in September, are these two cases going to clash? And what impact will that have on Scottish survivors as well as Mr. Ware's South African victim getting justice?
Ndutuzelo Nene, Eyewitness News.
And France's parliament has approved a bill banning social media access for children under 15, making the country the first European country to bar children from apps such as TikTok. President Emmanuel Macron has championed the ban as a flagship reform of his final term in office and pledged to enforce it by September. Macron says the Constitutional Council must now rule on it before the law takes effect. Enforcing the measure by September would also ensure that one provision of the bill, a ban on phones in high schools, takes effect at the beginning of the French school year. A fine day in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 3 and 7 degrees, peaking at highs between 21 and 24.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the Eldorado Park along the N12 East. This is between Klipspruit Valley Road and the Golden Highway. There's also queuing traffic reported along the Maikwan North. Peak time delays there between Boysons Road and Carr Street.
The top story this hour, 2 men, including a Gauteng police officer, have been killed during a violent altercation at a mine in Limpopo.
Success doesn't wait. It doesn't copy. It doesn't ask permission. It moves. Powered by 125 kilowatts of turbocharged performance, 270 Newton meters of torque, and a 7-speed DCT transmission. Designed with electrically adjustable front seats, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and an 8-speaker Sony sound system. The new Jetour Dashing. Success looks different from 429,900. Get behind the wheel today.
This year's Walk the Talk is powered by more than footsteps. It's powered by Aquele natural spring water and flavored drinks. So whether you choose still, sparkling, flavored or sports drinks, Aquele is here to help you keep refreshed as you enjoy the journey with thousands of fellow walkers. Join the walk, refreshed with Aquele, and celebrate Josie, my Josie.
Checkers brings you better freshness, better choice, and better value every day. On deals like Dr. Utker Ital Pizza Foldover, 310 to 345 grams, any two for 129 Rand. And Baby Soft 2-ply white or supreme quilts toilet rolls, 18-pack, any two for 249 Rand. Plus, get up to 40% back in U-Count rewards with your qualifying Standard Bank card. Valid until 10 August, only at Checkers, Checkers Hyper, or shop on 6060.
Do you ever get that wake up, dress up, show up kind of energy? Well, it's final voter registration weekend. On the 1st and 2nd of August from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., registration stations open across South Africa. So show up and register to vote in the upcoming local government elections. Call 0800 11 8000, visit elections.org.za, or WhatsApp 0600 880000 for more info. This message is brought to you by the IEC.
You've taken your small business far. Nedbank and 702 can help you take it even further.
How important is it that a campaign like Nedbank Business Ignite recognizes not only entrepreneurs but people who solve problems?
It is important because being an entrepreneur can be a lonely journey. You go through a lot of challenges, and when you do have those victories, there's no one to recognize you. And this competition definitely does that, to recognize the good that the entrepreneurs have done, their achievements. And what we're doing differently this year, we actually decided to touch base with our past winners. We shot a vodcast, and people can go and actually watch those and actually catch up with our past winners to find out what they've done since winning the competition. I mean, my mind was blown in terms of what these guys have achieved.
See money differently. Nedbank, an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
702
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, Bonks and the team. 702 Land. Ray, if I had Hangwani's money from his mattress, of course, I would undoubtedly get myself a house in one of these affluent golf estate in Neisner, and of course an opulent penthouse in Benchy Bay, baby. Cape Town. Joel from Kempton Park, have a splendid Wednesday morning.
So, Bongani, on the question from Ray, I would definitely, if I had unlimited money, I would provoke. I would deliberately, and I mean deliberately, move to Orania. I would honestly move to Orania on my first day, you know, like on my gown. I'll walk down the street to add more spice. I would call Kustas as my neighbor. I would definitely move to Orania.
Yeah, Bongani. If I could, secluded place somewhere in the rurals, next to the coast, about 50 k's or 60 k's away from a city, a metro. That's the dream, eh? Then you got a big piece of land, low levies, peace and quiet, ocean right there for calm, and then you just have the city right there, about 40 minutes away.
You know those places with those white houses? I think places like Paternoster, where all the homes are white and it all just looks shiny and bright. Ray White, of course, was telling us about South Africa's luxury residential property. And they're saying that 40% of homes sold in South Africa that are worth more than 20 million rand are being bought by foreigners. If you had that kind of cash, where might you want to live in South Africa?
EWN Sport.
Cindy, an unlimited budget. You could live anywhere you want to.
I would be so torn. I would be absolutely so torn
You
because
could have a few options. You don't have to choose one.
If part of me says, okay, unlimited budget, I'd want to live somewhere along the coast, right? But
Yeah.
the other part of me goes, I don't like how everything rusts at the coast. So I don't know, maybe a big open farm. I'd like a big, but I don't want to actually farm.
Yes.
I just want a big piece of
Just
open
live on one.
space. Yes.
Other people can do the farming.
No. There mustn't be anything that I
Must
have
be no
to.
farming.
No, there must be nothing that I have to worry about. It must just be a big open space.
I remember Ellen and Oprah having a conversation, millionaire to millionaire.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Oprah was saying, or billionaire to billionaire, is it? She was talking about how she wanted a pair of something. I can't remember what the item was. And she was working in her head whether, but then there were two that she really, really liked. And then she said at some point it occurred to her, Oh, but wait, I can afford both. So she got them. Knysna certainly would be a place. Teeson Island, oh my goodness. I'm not sure about Orania, hey? Cindy?
No.
Banyana, if they had unlimited cash, might want to look at places in Morocco.
Imagine. Banyana arriving safely in Morocco ahead of the women's AFCON that starts on Sunday. They're in Group B with Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, and Monday night's opponents, Tanzania. Coach Desiree Ellis.
There's so many players out there raising their hands, so many players pushing, but we have to be happy with what we selected. We've got a good mix of youth and experience, and a lot of players that we have done well in the league. As a coach, that is what you want. Nothing is ever easy, and you have to make the difficult decisions.
Orlando Pirates suffered their first preseason defeat in Spain, losing to Saudi side Al Ittihad 3-2. Pirates goals scored in the 26th minute through Mbata, and then in the 92nd, a consolation from Botuma. Tonight they play Las Palmas at 7. Chelsea's completed the signing of Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa for £117 million. Rogers is the most expensive British player now. Chelsea opens their season against Fulham on the 21st of August. Newcastle supporters are going to vote on a new crest for the club, tweaking the badge for the first time since 1988. Fans feel the current badge struggles to perform in a modern setting. It won't get a complete overhaul. Those eligible to vote on a new crest are season ticket holders, members, and anyone who bought tickets for 2 or more of the women's home matches last season. In international cricket, West Indies got a consolation 2-wicket win over New Zealand in the 5th ODI last night. Black Caps winning the series 3-2. Man of the match, Wendy's Hetmay with an unbeaten 69 to chase down 270 with 2 overs to spare. And at the Tour de France, Remco Evenepoel won stage 16, the individual time trial, coming in 28 seconds faster than Tadej Pogacar, who still has the yellow jersey. Evenepoel, who lies second overall, is still 4 minutes behind Pogacar. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Smart business decisions save money. Switch to Outsurance Business Insurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Here's JC from Blonde Hair Studio.
I was with my previous insurer for many years before switching over to Outsurance Business Insurance. I'm really happy with the premium I'm paying now, and switching was definitely one of the best decisions for my business.
Get a quote to switch and save today. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 0800 60,000. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online.
What's the first name you think of when I say office printers? Nashua, right? We've been supporting businesses with printers for over 50 years. But did you know we also offer other technology to enable your business? From world-class phone systems to PCs and laptops, business-grade internet, and secure cloud storage. All the latest tech to keep your business connected. Nashua. More than print.
Welcome to Nando's. Taste Domonials. It's the flavor! Real reviews by real people. Dolly from Boertersig is vegetarian-ish, with a reputation to uphold. Here's what she whispered about the half chicken and a single side for $1.25.
What? I don't eat chicken, but for Nando's, I make the exception.
Well, good thing there's a salad on the side for appearances. Of course, Nando's. Oh, what a place.
Uncertainty is rising, but your business still has to deliver. Production targets need to be met. And when your workforce is out of balance, the cost is immediate. Too many employees, costs climb. Too few, productivity drops. Workforce staffing helps businesses stay in control with flexible workforce solutions deployed within 48 hours nationwide. When demand changes, your workforce can change with it. Visit workforcestaffing.co.za. Stay productive, stay flexible, stay in control.
Incredible Mazda moments of wonder await around every scenic twist and turn at 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Walk the Talk. Because on Sunday, 26th July, you get to discover 5 Mazda wonder experiences on the 8-kilometer route. From a stunning Japanese garden to a world of color. Visit one and share your wonder moments on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. Then tag and follow at Mazda SA using hashtag Mazda SA. And you could win your share of 50,000 Rand thanks to Mazda, where wonder awaits. Official vehicle partner of 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. T's and C's apply.
Coming up in the next hour, what's the question? Brought to you by Outsurance. 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. You send us an answer based on something that piqued your interest during the show. We'll give you $1,000. WhatsApp us your name and that answer to 072 702 1702. Later, someone else will ask a question to get 2,000 Rand. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Hi, my name is Pusisiwe. I go to Brackenhurst Primary School, and what I would like to be when I grow up is a pediatrician, and I'm really excited to play the Whiz Quiz today with Uncle Bongani.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand. Let's talk about the N12 East. Why are there delays there?
In Eldorado Park, Bongani, it's due to a car stuck on the road. It's on the left shoulder of the route. It's causing delays, in fact, between Klipspruit Valley Road and the Golden Highway. Then, if you continue making your way towards Deep Kloof via the N1, do expect delays approaching the Golden Highway because there's an accident right after the N12 turnoff. While heading towards the Joburg CBD, we've got delays as well between Boysons Road and Carr Street. Peak time delays there. In the city of Tshwane, some issues being reported on the N1 South just as you approach Rigel Avenue. An accident there. It's causing heavy traffic volumes coming out of Linwood Road. I'll have more updates coming up.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Clever excuses for being late. Number 91. The lift looks suspicious, so I had to take the stairs all the way up. Fortunately, with the Outsurance pointsman on the roads, you no longer have to come up with creative excuses for being late. The Outsurance pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so we all get to where we need to be quickly and safely for the past 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer in FSP.
On Sunday, 26 July, celebrate the iconic rhythm that makes Joburg more than just a city. At the finish line of the 702 Jozi, My Jozi Walk the Talk. This epic walk through the inner city will come together with favorite artists such as Babalwa M, Lebza de Villian, The Buhle Nomfunda Mo, Sam Deep, Citizen Deep, and Manana. So after you've taken the scenic route, join us for an afternoon of fun and relaxation. The 702 Jozi My Jozi Walk the Talk, hosted by the city of Johannesburg.
Jozi is moving. People are showing up. Communities are stepping up. We see you, Jozi. Asambe. ABSA is proud to partner with 702 Walk the Talk on 26 July. Thousands will take to the streets of Jozi CBD and celebrate what makes this city iconic. Visit absa.co.za/702 Walk the Talk. ABSA is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
Mama Million here, and yes, I am a millionaire. The total number of lotto winners to date is 18,886,946, and the total prize money won is over 149 million rand. So what must you do with this information? Inspire yourself and play the lotto. It's still just 5 rand. Catch the live draws on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 9 p.m. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizakai.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Up next, some clarification from the Legal Practice Council. In the meantime, let's play the Whiz Quiz, shall we? Today's contestant is 13 years old. Busisiwe goes to Brackenhurst Primary School and wants to be a pediatrician. And I imagine, Busisiwe, maths must be one of your favorite subjects at school.
Yes, it is.
Do you feel confident with the maths type question we're going to ask you?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am.
Sure? What's 1 plus 1?
2.
All right, good luck to you. KG, start the clock. Which is the only mammal capable of true flight?
A bird.
It's a bat. A bat. What is 60 plus 25?
85.
Correct. On what day is Workers' Day in South Africa?
1
May. Complete the saying, once bitten, twice what?
Pass.
Shy. Did Enoch Sontonga compose Nkosi Sikelel' Africa or Distem van Zuid-Afrika?
Nkosi Sikelel' Africa.
Correct. How many permanent teeth do adults have? 18 or 32?
32.
Correct. Which planet is closest to the sun?
Mercury.
Correct. In which sport do we get scores called birdie, eagle, and albatross? Is it golf or cricket?
Golf
is the answer we were looking for there. Golf is the answer we were looking for there. But if a rough one there for you, Busisiwe. Didn't quite shoot the lights out, but tell you what, you still walk away with something. 400 Rand. That'll give you a good time at your local McD's or KFC, would it not? If you want to play the Whiz Quiz, go to primemediaplus.com. You must be 10 to 13, and we could be calling you.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702.
Current events, developing stories,
Tough questions.
your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
All right, typically on a Wednesday, of course, we'd bring you the Africa Report. And in fact, we'd scheduled an interview and we didn't realize our interviewee would be traveling. I think he's in Washington at the moment, which is about 7 to 1 there. So we thought we'd clarify something, do a little bit of housekeeping, if you will. Yesterday, we told you the controversial Malisela Tifo, who became a household name as a lawyer representing high-profile clients, including in the Senzumeyiwa trial, might be reinstated by the Legal Practice Council following his clearance of 6 charges by the Pretoria Magistrates Court. The LPC, of course, has moved to clarify in a statement. They say he remains struck off the roll of legal practitioners and cannot practice law in South Africa, and it has neither considered nor approved any application for his readmission. So what's the truth then behind these conflicting claims, and where does Tifo stand legally? Ignatius Briel is the director of the Legal Practice Council Provincial Office and joins us now. Ignatius, a very good morning to you. Thank you for your time. Welcome to 702 Breakfast.
Morning, thank you.
So, for background, perhaps, please remind us why Tifo was struck off the roll in 22, was it?
Yeah. So there's quite a long list of matters that prompted the Legal Practice Council to approach the court. Some of them relate to conduct that he had been taking money directly from clients. Now remember, as a referral advocate, he does not have a trust account and he's not allowed to receive money directly from clients. But that was only part of the complaints against him. There were several instances where he severely misconducted himself in court, being disrespectful to judges, making all kinds of spurious allegations against judges. But when I say disrespectful to judges, it's not minor misconduct. He really misrepresented what a legal practitioner should be. And all of this conduct added up. Together with that, there was several instances of charges of assault against him, which I believe was now some of them part of these of the criminal matter that he seems to have been acquitted of.
So just to be clear, the 6 charges then he has been cleared of may relate to some of the reasons he was struck off, but not all of them.
Definitely, yeah. But what you must also bear in mind, there's a different test to be applied between criminal matters and an application for striking a legal practitioner. So the test is completely different. When the court considers whether a legal practitioner should be struck, the court looks at whether that person is a fit and proper person. So before doing that, the court considers whether the conduct that we explained to court did actually happen. And in Tefu's case, the court found that there was nothing contradicting the conduct that we had complained of. So once that conduct had been established, the court then looks at the conduct and sees whether that is the type of conduct that you would expect from a legal practitioner.
And
if it's not, then the court needs to decide whether this is still a fit and proper person to be a legal practitioner.
So in essence, there's no such thing as an automatic reinstatement, right?
No, absolutely not. And what you must also bear in mind, the striking off order was granted by the High Court. This criminal matter took place in the Magistrates Court. There's no way that a magistrate's judgment can overrule a High Court judgment, especially in relation to the striking of a legal practitioner. That's a status issue that can only be decided by court.
So
by the High Court.
If he were to approach the High Court for his reinstatement, would the LPC oppose that?
We will most definitely oppose it. We've seen that he persists with his unethical conduct. As the matter stands, he continuously insists that he's allowed to practice. I saw this morning again an article saying that he's now going to approach the court on the Senzo Mayiwa matter. He is not entitled to practice. He's not allowed to appear in court.
Is there any possibility of his rehabilitation, do you think?
Look, that one would have to look at in the long run. Usually somebody needs to show that what steps he's taken to rehabilitate. So it is possible that somebody can be readmitted, but it's not something that can happen within 3 or 4 years. And especially where his conduct continues to be severe as it is now.
I was about to say, if you continue making false claims, then I suspect he's not going to win on that one. Appreciate that clarification. Ignatius Briel, the director of the Legal Practice Council Provincial Office. And just to remind you, we spoke to Malisela Tifo, was it 4 years ago, July 2022. Have a listen to this little exchange.
Let's talk about some of what you have said around this case. You have made assertions before that you had, for example, a witness who would implicate those who were in the house, Kenny Kumalo specifically. Where is that witness?
Let's not go there. That the case is in court. I'm not in court here. I'm not in court on 702. So all those things belong to the court.
But you are the one. Hold on. Hold on. You said in court you would bring these witnesses. You've withdrawn from that case. Who else is going to do it if you're no longer there?
Look, I know I've spoken to the people, the relevant people in this matter, and myself, those people and myself, my clients, and those people who appointed me to be where I am today, to be able to be in court. Remember, when you go in court, you'll be appointed as advocate. You'll be given a brief and you accept it. So myself and those people who are involved in this situation where we are, we have spoken, and they knew everything. That thing, it was the thing that happened on the 12th that alleged that I've dropped the bomb. It's to you, not those people who are involved in this matter. They know before anything. It may be a dropping of the bomb to you, public, not the people that I know. So I say, respect the fact that the president has responded to me.
Yeah, right. Remember when he was saying that he'd really rather argue this matter, and it was before court, but he'd withdrawn at that point. It was all convoluted, but I just thought I'd give you a taste of who exactly it was we are talking about here.
702.
Coming up, the big interview.
The big interview focuses on the National Student Aid Financial Scheme. Funding delays, unpaid allowances, uncertainty over studies. Many students have been left in the lurch. We've been here so many times before. What to do about it now? Deputy Higher Education and Training Minister Yusuf Kasim will be talking to us.
This is EWN.
Andrea Johnson insists on not incriminating herself. She's back at the Madlanga Commission. And triple murder accused Ndodana Chuma, who fled the UK, is expected back in court. Good morning, I'm Sviso Zulu. IDEC head Andrea Johnson is expected to continue with her testimony today after choosing not to testify on matters that could incriminate her. Johnson, who heads up the investigating directorate against corruption, invoked Section 35 of the Constitution yesterday, which guarantees the right against self-incrimination. She says she cannot testify on allegations that she leaked a police docket to crime intelligence top cop Firoz Khan relating to an ongoing criminal matter against him. Tabiso Koba reports.
In July 2018, a female crime intelligence officer opened an assault and intimidation case against Firoz Khan. Her dockets included a detailed version of events and medical records outlining her injuries. However, before police could get a statement from Khan, he was already aware of the content of the dockets. Witness O, a crime intelligence officer, previously testified at the Madlanga Commission that it was Andrea Johnson who leaked the dockets to Khan. At the time, Johnson was a senior prosecutor at the NPA. Johnson says the matter of the leak is now before the NPA, awaiting a decision on whether she will be criminally charged.
Various consequences emerge. One of those consequences of the need for me to have my rights protected. Thus, when I testify on those matters, should I be called upon to, I will exercise my right not to incriminate myself.
Johnson's testimony continues today. Thabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
Meanwhile, IDEC's newly established oversight office says it will be investigating Johnson after receiving more than one complaint against her. This is less than a month since the office was established and retired Judge Takalani Raulinga appointed as its oversight judge. Khomotso Modise takes a look.
IDEC head Andrea Johnson is among the first people that the newly established office of the IDEC oversight judge will investigate. While the office confirms receipt of the complaints against her, it remains tight-lipped on the substance of the complaint. Spokesperson Max Mpuzana.
While the office would not ordinarily comment on complaints that are under consideration, we have decided to confirm receipt of these particular complaints because of the significant public interest and the volume of media inquiries received.
Mpuzana has emphasized that receipt of a complaint does not constitute findings of wrongdoing. Meanwhile, Johnson will continue to field tough questions at the Madlanga Commission this morning on allegations of interference against her, as well as IDAC's prosecutorial decisions. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News.
The British man accused of killing his wife and two children is expected to return in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court today as South Africa prepares his extradition proceedings to the UK. Ndodana Chuma is wanted by British authorities in connection with the murder of his family at their home in Bedfordshire earlier this month. He was arrested in Johannesburg recently with the assistance of Interpol after allegedly fleeing the UK days before the bodies were discovered. Mongezi Gogo reports.
Ndodana Chuma remains in custody on a South African charge of possessing an unlicensed firearm, which police allege was purchased in Gauteng. The murder allegations will be dealt with through a separate extradition process, which is expected to begin once the United Kingdom submits a formal request for his return. The court will then determine whether Chuma can legally be handed over to British authorities to face 3 murder charges. Detectives in the UK say their investigation is continuing with the assistance of Interpol, South African Police and the UK's National Crime Agency. Mongezi Gogo, Eyewitness News.
And a British man accused of murdering veteran right-wing ex-MP Anne Widdecombe, allegedly hitting her with 21 times with a hammer, has been kept in custody. 28-year-old Joshua Carey appeared in the Westminster Magistrates Court yesterday, speaking only to confirm his name, date of birth and address during the short hearing. He later made a second appearance at the Old Bailey Crown Court, where the most serious cases are heard and a provisional trial dates for June next year was set. Police arrested him earlier this month on suspicion of murder, 2 days after 78-year-old Widdecombe, a spokesperson for the Hard Rights Reform UK Party and a former Conservative minister, was found dead at her home, southwest England. Head of National Counter-Terrorism Policing, Assistant Commissioner Lawrence Taylor, says they are not looking for any other suspects.
It remains the case that we are not looking for anyone else in connection with this incident. I know there has been significant interest in this case, and rightly so. I want to make it very clear that our investigation into this individual, determining his motivations and any wider activity he may have been involved in, is continuing.
Gold is trading at $4,131.04 an ounce. The rand is at 16.45 to the dollar, 22.02 to the pound, 18.77 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $92.01 a barrel.
And in the traffic in the city of Tshwane, Erasmus Kloof, we've got an accident along the N1 South that happened near Rigel Avenue. It's causing heavy traffic volumes. There's also queuing traffic reported along the intersection of Nelmapius Road and Main Road. There's also queuing traffic in Midrand along the R55 just as you approach Arthur Avenue. This is due to another accident.
And in your sport, Banyana Morocco ahead of the women's AFCON that starts Sunday. Chelsea have signed Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa, and Orlando Pirates suffer a first pre-season friendly defeat.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg is at a low of 6 degrees, peaking at 21. Pretoria 7 and 24. Vereeniging 3 and 22. The top story in EWN this hour. IDEC head Andrea Johnson is expected to continue with her testimony today at the Madlanga Commission after choosing not to testify on matters that could incriminate her.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Visit primemediaplus.com to enter 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for the people, for our Josie.
For Joburg, by Joburg, in Joburg.
Bamise bonke.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
0707, it's Wednesday, the 22nd of the 7th month of the year 2026. Questions are going to be asked about Andrea Johnson now, because isn't the truth no matter to whom you must tell it? It surely doesn't change depending on the platform where you must tell it. So whatever she said at the ad hoc committee, whatever she says now at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, and whatever she might say in whatever possible criminal proceedings may follow would be the same. Did you give this docket, as has been alleged, to somebody who was implicated in a complaint before the matter was ventilated formally, presumably giving them an advantage? The same person you and your husband were going to his birthday parties. The same person who worked closely with your husband. If the answer is yes, then that's what that is. If it's no, it's no. The truth doesn't change depending on the pair of ears that hears it, does it?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Now, if you're worried about corruption in South Africa, just have a think about this, if you will. There was a story that broke over the weekend in the American publication, The New York Times. And essentially what the story says, the US President Donald Trump has a media company, right? It's called Trump Media and Technology Group. So essentially what they're doing is they've invited corporates especially, but anybody who has the money to fork it, to pay $100,000 for exclusive first sight, if you will, of the US president's posts on his platform, Truth Social. Remember, he was booted off Twitter, or X as it now is called. So he says, I mean, let's just call it what it is. It tweets, right? He posts, he tweets, whatever. He posts whatever he has to say. And they're saying for the small fee of $100,000, you can be amongst the first to see his posts on his platform before anybody else does. So if you are, for example, I don't know, a multinational investor with billions of dollars at your disposal, and you want to see what the US president is thinking about this or that may have an impact on how you ought to make investment decisions, you would get first bite at the cherry, so to speak. What do we normally call that? Ooh, I don't know, insider trading. Because you now have inside information the rest of the market doesn't have. You can make different decisions from what everybody else can make because you have access to this information they will only get sometime later. And so that $100,000, well, it may seem like a lot of money to you and me. For anybody who needs this information, well, I tell you what, it will give them much, much more. How corrupt is Donald Trump? I want you to listen now to the Senate Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer. This is a Democrat, announcing a 3-week legislative and media campaign accusing the Trump administration of corruption and self-enrichment.
Well, we have Trump Steaks, Trump University, Trump Airlines, Trump Coin, and the Trump Presidency. All cons. The product changes, the con stays the same. Donald Trump has turned the presidency of the United States into the most profitable scheme of his life, and American families are being forced to pay the price. Today, I'm launching a new effort to expose the corruption, show Americans exactly what is costing them, and build reforms needed to stop any president from using public office for personal profit. For the next 3 weeks, Senate Democrats are putting Trump's corruption under a microscope. Throughout the month, we'll follow the money, expose the deals, name the people cashing in, and show how Trump's corruption reaches directly into the pockets of working people. This week, we're releasing a new report that lays out the staggering scale of the grift, how Trump has used the power of the presidency to enrich himself, reward his family, protect his friends, and sell access to anyone willing to pay.
I mean, can you imagine Ramaphosa meat? Ramaphosa steaks. He sells Trump steaks. You can buy a steak, a Trump steak. Hey? Pala pala chickens.
If it's got the fun, why not?
Onkandla beef. Onkandla nyama. Inkandla inyama. I can just see it, hey? And then he calls us a beep hole country.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
7:02 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
I told you earlier, a London bus driver making an unusual discovery over the weekend, finding a frightened marmoset. This is the small monkey often kept by some as an exotic pet. The UK has new laws requiring primate owners to obtain licenses and to provide zoo-level care standards for primates that they own. So effectively, a number of people choosing to just ditch them on buses, as in this example. I want to know from you, is there an exotic or unusual animal you've considered as a pet, perhaps even for your kids? It was on this day, 1991, Jeffrey Dahmer arrested in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, after police discovered human remains in his apartment. He later confessed to the murders of 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991. Dahmer was sentenced to life in prison, but was killed by another inmate in 1994 whilst serving his sentence. Today is also known as Pi Approximation Day because the date, 22/7, matches the famous fraction used to estimate the mathematical constant pi. It's a favorite day for maths lovers who celebrate with puzzles, number games, and appropriately pie. Just perhaps not chicken and leek pie, hey, as we saw in MasterChef just yesterday. Is there an odd or unusual subject you know perhaps just a little too much about? What's that one thing you are completely fascinated by that most people wouldn't even, give a second thought to? It could be anything. The history of a random object, how planes work, the origins of street names, the world of stamps, conspiracy theories, sports statistics, insects, even something as specific as knowing every detail about a particular TV show. What's your unexpected area of expertise? I tell you what, cricket could be one of mine. On this day, for example, in 2012, Hashim Amla becoming the first South African cricketer to score a triple century in a test match. 311 not out against England at the Oval.
7:02. Up next,
The Big Interview.
EWN Traffic.
The CWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand. Delays in Pretoria. Amo, what's going on there?
That's correct, Bongani. We've got an accident reported on the N1 South near Rigel Avenue. Delays from the Proof Plus interchange. There's also queuing traffic on the N14 east towards the Brakfontein interchange. We do know that it's peak time delays causing these delays. Then traveling in Rini, we've got delays along Nelmepius and Main Road. We'll have more updates coming up.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The electricity price increases may have dropped a bombshell on your budget, but switch to Outsurance and you could drop your car insurance premium. You could save big, like 48-year-old Sylvia, who saves a mind-blowing 802 Rand a month on her 2019 BMW X1. Why pay more when you could pay so much less and save? Get a quote to switch to OutSurance today. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. OutSurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
Get ready to watch demo prices get knocked down. It's the demolition sale at Motor Select. Hundreds of quality demo vehicles at smashed prices. Come find the demo deal you've been waiting for and save big on your next car. The demolition sale is now on. Motor Select. Trusted value, trusted vehicles. Visit motorselect.co.za to find yours. T's and C's apply.
As Joburg takes a big step towards a cleaner future, the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment is joining you on this journey, because a cleaner city is everyone's responsibility. So whether at home or in public spaces, always use designated bins, separate recyclable materials, and never litter or dump illegally. And together, everybody can build cleaner, healthier and greener communities. Act now, reduce waste and recycle. The message brought to you by the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment.
Time. When you're a kid, it moves slower than a sloth trying to get through airport security. There is just so much of it. Skip forward a few years to your 20s. Time is still your friend. It says have some balance. Go party and have fun. Then your 30s hit. And time suddenly steps on the accelerator like it's trying to catch a traffic light before it goes red. 40s. Now time is moving faster than your 10-year-old on a sugar high. 50. You're desperately trying to save as much as you can, but time is moving so fast. And all you can think is, where did all the time go? That's why after 50 years of investing, we've learned that time is the greatest gift of all. And the good news is, if you invest early, time gives you money. And then money gives you more time for some much-deserved you time. Now, isn't that a compelling enough reason to invest? Ellen Gray. Long-term investing. Ellen Gray is an authorized FSP.
Visit primemediaplus.com to enter 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for our Josie.
For Joburg, by Joburg, in Joburg.
Bamise bonke.
RMB has once again been recognized at the prestigious Euromoney Awards for Excellence 2026, Best Investment Bank for Africa and South Africa, along with other awards. This reflects RMB's ability to help corporates and institutions navigate complex decisions, unlock investment and drive growth. So we'll be in conversation with them tomorrow here on 702 Breakfast, unpacking these awards and how RMB continues to deliver value. RMB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
702.
The Big Interview
with Bongani Bingwa.
Rinse and repeat. Every year it seems we face the same problem as thousands of NSFAS funded students await allowances. Funding investigations drag on. Appeals remain unresolved. Many have no idea they'll be able to register and continue their studies. Is it time to do away with the scheme? It's been plagued by scandals and failing students. Why not bypass it entirely and pay institutions and the students directly? Government, of course, has responded by placing the National Students Financial Aid Scheme under administration and appointing advisors to help fix the problems and restore some confidence in the system. We're joined now by the Deputy Higher Education Minister, Yusuf Kasim, in studio. Thank you for popping in.
Thank you very
Welcome
much.
to 702 Breakfast.
And thank you to your listeners.
So I want to take you back to 2018. I interviewed Dr. Randall Carolison. Then, as now, there were severe and systematic delays in funding disbursements. We are now on the third successor since he was at the helm of NSFAS. Little has changed.
So, I think some of the underlying issues exist. We have an opportunity, Bongani, in the parliamentary legislative review process. The NSFAS Act is up for review, and Parliament and the country, because there will be a public participation process, has a role to play to examine what are the underlying issues. Is the model correct? Is the structure correct? What do we need to be doing differently in order to meet our mandate to fund students from underprivileged backgrounds in order to access the post-schooling education and training sector?
Because, of course, we can talk in big numbers and the broader picture, but for affected students, it can be quite a disaster because often it means they're evicted from accommodation, they face academic exclusions, there's no food. Many are often left with no choice but to drop out.
Well, that's exactly the point. And my experience in the system going back 18 years. Bongani, I was an SRC president once upon a time, and my biggest fight was that I believed that the system sets students up to fail. So you can try and fund as many students as you want to fund, but if the students that you are funding are not being empowered to succeed academically, and if they are not being given the information that they require upfront in order to make responsible choices for their own developmental needs, then the entire system is broken. And we spend a lot of money. It's over 50 billion rand that is allocated to the National Student Financial Aid Scheme.
And we still have shortfalls.
But we need to ask ourselves the question, are we using these funds effectively and efficiently? Are the students that we are admitting into the system being funded in a manner that actually empowers them to succeed? Or are we just trying to fund as many students as possible, which we should be brought in access, without really examining closer whether or not those that we are funding are being set up to succeed in the system?
If I'm reading between the lines then, it's been essentially a tick box exercise of funding as many as you can. And even there, as we've discussed, there have been problems. So it's up for review. Would you agree that NSFAS, as it currently exists, has been a disaster?
I believe the model needs to be reviewed. I've been very open about my own views in this respect. I've committed to the minister that I'm not going to misrepresent government policy, and I'm going to be very careful not to do that, Bongani, because I do represent the ministry here today.
But it's not working.
But it isn't working. I mean, I think we have to be honest about the fact that when you try to centralize in the manner in which funding has been centralized, and that's been the trend, centralize everything and try and fix the problems that then flow from there, it hasn't produced the results that has been intended.
Sure, but if we need the public to participate in this review process, we've got to diagnose the problem as honestly as we can. And I understand your sensitivities around communicating things that may not be the official position of the government, but no less than Minister Kodongwana, for example, has been outspoken about this, that we need a complete overhaul of this thing.
I agree.
So what do we do?
Yeah. So my view is that let's go back to the principle. If the principle is that any South African, irrespective of the circumstances of your birth, should be empowered to access the system and to succeed, therefore the principle is, how do we best fund the individual student in order to succeed academically? And you don't have to have convoluted bureaucracies to be able to do that. You need to be able to start with the experience of the individual. And how do you best empower that individual in order to participate in the system? And you can decentralize your model in order to do that. Fund students directly and examine which institutions do have the capacity in order to ensure that the point of service is closer to the student. Students cannot access NSFAS in its current form. I visited the NSFAS offices at the waterfront in Cape Town. How many students can actually go there? Even the students that can go there, I'm in contact with many parents and students who have reached out to my office and the Deputy Minister's help desk. Even those that do go there do not receive resolution.
Would this direct funding then be approved via the institution?
There's a variety of models. You can ensure that those institutions that have capacity in order to examine the eligibility requirements, whether it's academic or the family income and means testing, can provide capacity to do that. It's been done in the past, and it was done very successfully in many instances. And in other cases, one can add capacity where that capacity doesn't exist. You don't have to have a one-size-fits-all. If you have the right governance in place and you have the right management systems in place, you can ensure that you can bring services closer to our people.
And I suppose you would take some of the money you would be saving in terms of getting rid of the entire behemoth and be able to set up institutions who don't have that capacity, should that be the case.
This is a problem across government, Bongani. We have these massive state entities, bureaucracies, boards, CEOs, and an entire layer of top management, senior managers that are on multi-million rand salaries. And your frontline services are not capacitated in order to provide services to our people.
And they get bonuses, and they get staff, and they get security, and all kinds.
It's the way that we view government services, and I think that's the point.
Is there will to remove the edifice?
Well, I think we're getting to a point now where I don't believe government has a choice. Either you're going to have to make very difficult and serious decisions, important decisions, policy decisions in this respect, or overall services are going to be compromised, I would say, existentially.
Would you, for example, because the other issue is if we know we have limited spaces at our public universities, if a student has applied and there is no space and they're able to go to a private university, NSFAS has traditionally not funded them, would we look at that as well?
I think it's budget dependent. Many of the private institutions are very costly. I think we need to also understand that the fiscus doesn't have an unlimited supply of resources in order to fund students. We have to look at this very differently.
Or at least an equivalent portion of what you would have funded them for at a public university.
Like I say again, Bongani, I'm not ruling out that as a policy matter. I'm saying it's budget dependent, but I believe we have to relook at where do we want students to access their developmental needs. In the European countries, I was in Germany recently, their emphasis is on skills and vocational training. It's not on academic university qualifications. Yes, they do have a burgeoning academic sector. But when I visited many of the industries, I visited, for example, the VW plant in Wolfsburg, and you look at what are the kind of opportunities that are available, it's mind-blowing. They are preparing their young people for the economy of the future, and that is an economy of skills. So we need to look at the entire system, and I think the minister has spoken about that in his annual performance plan. It has to be one system. The skills sector, the TVET sector, and the university sector, you need to ensure that overall you have an offering that is attractive to young people, that not everybody just wants to go to university because they believe that's the best shot at getting a job or building a future for themselves.
And we haven't even touched on the CETAs.
Exactly. But it's the same principle, right? We have all of these CETA boards. We have all of these convoluted management systems, people on very high salaries with these beautiful offices. How much of the money is actually going to skill South Africans? Remember, the skills levy comes from the private sector. It's a skills levy. It's a 1% levy on your revenue. Therefore, we need to be getting bang for our buck, skills that are going to actually service industry and ensure that those that want to develop themselves have access to the skills that will not only make them employable in South Africa, but will ensure that they can be employable internationally.
I'm listening to everything you're saying, and I wonder if you and the minister read from the same hymn sheet.
Well, look, this is a competition of ideas. I've been appointed for 2.5 weeks now, and I've been very clear to the minister. I'm building a relationship with him. We must work as a team. I need to support the work that he wants to do in order to fix issues within the sector. But I've also been very clear about the fact that I cannot be expected to go and advance and defend, for want of a better way to describe it, ANC policies that I don't agree with, right? I come from a different political party in the Government of National Unity. I'm not going to go in.
You're all one government now.
No, we are. But it's a competition of ideas, Bongani. We have very different ideas about how we need to fix the very serious issues that are confronting our people. And I've said to the minister, I'm not going to go and misrepresent government policy, but I'm also going to advance the ideas that I believe are the solutions to the very serious problems that are confronting our young people. And we have a responsibility to do that. We're not going to just fall in line and perhaps try and continue with the status quo from a policy perspective that hasn't delivered the outcomes that we seek to deliver. Many of these intentions are very noble, but the outcomes have not matched.
Well, I suppose as that process unfolds, you and I will speak certainly once or twice more. Yusuf Kasim is the Deputy Higher Minister of Higher Education Minister.
EWN Business.
Ray White with business news now. The crisis at the PIC deepening. More board members exit.
That's right, Bongani. 4 more board members have resigned from the PIC, bringing to 6 the number of members to quit in just 1 week. PIC CEO Patrick Lamini has been suspended over the fiasco, which involved the PIC, a company called Acapulco, and an incorrect evaluation of Lanseria Airport. Business Day reporting that this leaves Deputy Minister David Masondo, who is the PIC chairperson, and 4 other board members. Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana, meanwhile, has called for a general meeting on the 27th of this month, which could see a vote for their removal. That's the remaining board members. The PIC manages more than 3.6 trillion rand in assets and has no CEO or CIO at the helm. Parliament was told last year that more than 40% of its unlisted portfolio was in distress, Bongani.
At least no permanent CEO. Jabulani Skakane has a fantastic piece in the Business Day about this, and if you'll indulge me, Ray, I'll quote from it quickly, talking about the political appointment of the chair of the PIC. Essentially, someone who's never managed anything in his or her life can automatically become the chair of an institution that manages more than, as you say, 3 trillion rand in the retirement funds of government employees, simply because they are the deputy minister. Where's the rand?
Rand at the moment, 16.45. That's a dollar. The pound, 22.02. Euro, 18.77. Platinum, $1,666, 1 cent. Gold, $4,124.10. And that Brent crude oil price, $92.26. I'll have some more business news for you in an hour.
From one deputy minister to another. Sfiso Zulu, this time we're talking defense.
That's right, Bongani. Defense Minister or Deputy Defense Minister Bantu Holomisa says collaborating with the private sector won't be a handover of strategic assets by the Defense Force. Holomisa says such a relationship can go a long way in dealing with the SANDF's money challenges after years of budget constraints. Holomisa made the call for the public-private partnership while addressing the Defense Lekgotla in Pretoria yesterday. Babalondenze has more.
Bantu Holomisa says South Africa's public-private partnership framework exists precisely because the state recognizes that the private sector can, under appropriate conditions, contribute capital and expertise. He says one of the key advantages of the defense portfolio is that the state possesses significant land and other strategic assets. But Holomisa says when he speaks about these partnerships, it's not about selling off the assets of the Department of Defense.
When I speak about public-private partnership, I am not speaking about selling off the assets of the Department of Defense. I am not speaking about selling military land to the highest bidder. I am not speaking about compromising national security.
On land owned by the Defense Force, Holomisa says there may be opportunities for carefully structured partnerships in which the state retains ownership and control, while private partners provide capital and operational capacity. Babalondense, Eyewitness News.
Economist Raymond Parsons says South Africa's $1.5 billion development policy loan from the World Bank should be welcomed. The financing represents the 4th development policy loan between the country and the Washington-based bank. Parsons says this is a positive step for the country's infrastructure reform agenda, but he says the real test will be whether government can effectively implement the reforms needed to unlock economic growth and job creation.
The reform impact of the World Bank loans will need to be assessed by tracking how effectively they dilute state monopolies, improve municipal finances, and enforce institutional accountability.
Johannesburg City Power says a spike in cable theft and vandalism has cost the utility more than 311,000 rand in just one weekend. It recorded 19 incidents, including cable thefts, substation fires, and vandalism across the city from last Thursday to Sunday. Preliminary figures show the losses stem from just 5 cable theft incidents, with the final cost expected to be significantly higher. wire. The largest single theft involved about 400 meters of copper cable in Jeppes while 3 suspects were arrested in Marshalltown for allegedly stealing underground cables recently. City Power spokesperson Isaac Mangena has urged communities to protect critical infrastructure.
Communities are critical partners in the fight against electricity theft, illegal connections, and also vandalism, which continue to undermine service delivery and place lives at risk.
And at least 53 people have died when a ferry capsized off the coast of Guyana. Prime Minister Mark Phillips confirmed the death toll last night. The MV Barima was travelling from the capital Georgetown to Port Kaituma in Guyana's inland region when it flipped over on Saturday night. A desperate search for survivors began early Sunday with 76 people rescued. The Prime Minister says 179 people were on board when the accident occurred. A fine day in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 3 and 6 degrees, peaking at highs between 21 and 22.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 South heading towards Midrand between Olifantsfontein Road and New Road. There's also queuing traffic reported on the November 1 North. This is between Rand Park Ridge and Fourways. That's due to an accident right near Winnie Mandela Drive, causing heavy traffic volumes.
The top story this hour, Deputy Defence Minister Bantu Holomisa says collaborating with the private sector won't be a handover of strategic assets by the Defence Force.
You're up before everyone else. You're building something real. Absa Business Banking, powered by Visa, gives you everything you need to get going. Open a business account in 10 minutes. Buy a point-of-sale device for $799 and get a credit card all in one place. We get it. Running a business is hard. Your banking shouldn't be. Search Business Starter Pack. Your story matters. Absa is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
A clean, well-managed and maintained Joburg is everybody's responsibility. That's why Sunday, 26 July, the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment will be walking with you and the rest of Joburg at the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. So let's all be in the iconic CBD, walking for the people, for a cleaner city, and to rediscover its historic beauty. To keep our city clean, safe and enjoyable for everyone, it takes just small everyday actions to make a big difference. Do your part. Reduce and manage waste. Separate recyclables. Use designated bins and do not litter and dump waste illegally. A message brought to you by the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment, the official partner of the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. More on primemediaplus.com.
This is what progress sounds like. At South African Airways, we've added more aircraft to the runway, increased our flights from just over 1,000 in 2021 to over 24,000 last year. And we continue to add more destinations and routes. It's steady progress over time. We know there's still work to do, but every day we're building something stronger. An airline that shares the resilience of the country it carries. South African Airways. Book your next flight at flysaa.com today.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
Do you get a sense the mayor and the minister are slowly beginning to see eye to eye on Joburg's money?
To be honest, the statement is incredibly frustrating because when you really look at the numbers, the city might have been honest about their current financial situation, but I assure you they were not honest about what they're doing to turn it around.
Julia Fish, the executive director of Joburg Can, a member of the steering committee.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Grootes is brought to you by Absa Corporate and Investment Banking. Africa's energy future takes more than ambition. It takes turning plans into projects, opportunity into investment, intent into execution. At Absa Corporate and Investment Banking, we help connect the capital, expertise, and opportunity needed to bring sustainable projects to life across Africa. That's how we're invested in Africa's energy future.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Hi, Bongani. My take on NSFAS is that it needs to be run from a taxpayer's point of view, because we as taxpayers pay for this, but are we getting value for money? We need to be funding students, firstly, who need it. There are a lot of students who when they do an application, say their father is not supporting them, but that's not true in all the cases. And they merely use this as a smokescreen to get funding. And then on top of that, as a taxpayer, we need to know that the student is passing, because we cannot be funding a student for 5 years when he's failing every course and just moving from course to course. And then we also need to make sure that this payment system doesn't cost us money. There should be no reason in this day and age of AI where we're using third parties to pay the accounts of NSFAS.
Morning, Bongani. The worst thing that you can do in the most unequal country in the world is to privatize the capacity of the state. It would be a sad day if NSFAS collapses. The banks must be licking their lips waiting for all those student loans to come their way. It is ridiculous what the ANC has done to NSFAS. They were supposed to fix that thing and ensure that in the most unequal country in the world, at least the poor have something to hold on to, so that they can get an education and actually try to get themselves out of poverty. You cannot privatize things like Transnet, Eskom, and end up actually privatizing even water supply in the most unequal country in the world. It spells disaster. Thank you. This is Kechi from Kuruli.
Good morning, Bongs and your team. Bongani, I don't think NSFAS, it needs to be restructured rather than to be disbanded completely, because it was meant for a good cause to help the poor of the poorest, especially the student, that they don't have money to further their education. The problem is to involve the politicians that they want to loot the money that is involved with NSFAS. Very sad, if you ask me. Max in Pretoria.
Bongani, it sounds fairly simple. Decentralize, let the provinces run their programs, and then take a look at who's successful and who's not, and then implement the successful provinces' programs more broadly. Decentralization is probably going to be a big part of the success of South Africa if we can do that, because we need competition. We need to see how things work when different people do things differently. Centralization has been a disaster. Police, education, health, all of this.
So an interview with the former statistician general, I have to always rehearse that word, statistician, and he says we have a 7 trillion rand economy when it should be about 21. And he says because everybody is looking to see where they can steal before any idea is approved or pursued. And he said if we had the $21 trillion economy, even those that steal, you could give them their 3 trillion. We'd still have so much more left versus the 3 trillion they're stealing from the baseline of 7 at the moment. I thought that was an interesting comment.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance. 3,000 Rand in cash up for grabs. First, we'll give you 1,000 Rand for an answer. Then later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us a question. SMS out to 45142. And you could save on your car insurance. Today's answer comes from Astra in 4 ways. Astra, please give us today's answer.
Marmoset.
Marmoset. Oh, I like it. I like it. Marmoset. Tell you what, Astra, how about 1,000 Rand coming your way, all thanks to Outsurance?
Thank you.
No monkey business here, I can tell you. Marmoset is the answer. What's the question? Call us if you know on 011 883 0702.
EWN Sport.
It's a little quiet in some senses, Cindy Paluta, on the sporting front at the moment. I think we were so spoilt with Wimbledon, with the Open. Oh, and there was that other little tournament. What was it?
Oh, the rugby, the Nations Championship.
There was that. There was that other one in North America. I just can't remember for the life of me. Quite a few teams, though, participating.
That World Cup thing. Yeah, it's a little bit of a lull at the moment, but only for a couple of weeks. So hang in there, sports fans. I'm feeling you. I'm feeling the empty afternoons. Women's AFCON, though, starts Sunday in Morocco with the final on the 16th of August. That's exciting. Banyana arrived safely in Casablanca, their opening game against Tanzania on Monday night. There's a lot at stake as the top 4 nations will automatically qualify for next year's Women's World Cup in Brazil. Goalkeeper Andile Dlamini.
Going into the tournament with 4 clean sheets, it means a lot to me. It has boosted my confidence. I didn't do it alone. I did it with the club and the players that are in the club. Defending is not about goalkeeping and the defenders only, but also the strikers, how they counter press and how everyone works well.
Orlando Pirates suffered a first preseason defeat going down 3-2 to Saudi side Al Ittihad in their third tour match. Pirates scored in the 26th minute through Mbata and a consolation in the 92nd from Batuma. Tonight they play Las Palmas at 7. Kaizer Chiefs made a third signing this season, Tanzanian midfielder Adolf Bitgeko from Azam FC. The other signings are defender Thabo Molasani and goalkeeper Ronaldo Lina. Chelsea completed the signing of Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa for £117 million, making him the most expensive British player. Villa in return are trying to buy Garnacho from Chelsea. The Blues season opens against Fulham on August the 21st. In cricket, the West Indies got a consolation 2-wicket win over New Zealand in the 5th ODI. New Zealand posted 268 for 9. The Windies reached the target with 2 overs to spare through Hatemeyer's unbeaten 69 and Rutherford's 61. In boxing, South African Kevin Lerena announcing he'll go back to the cruiserweight division in an attempt to become a third-time world champion. And at the Tour de France, Remco Evenepoel won the individual time trial yesterday, 28 seconds faster than Tadej Pogacar, who still holds on to that yellow jersey 4 minutes ahead of the pack. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
In the 1960s, Douglas Engelbart had a thought. What if you could jump from one idea to another with just a click? That question led him to pioneer how hypertext would work. And this laid the foundation of how we navigate the internet today. See, whether you're reinventing the future or building something new, you need the right foundations to start. At Ex-Nilo, we give you the right foundation to host your big idea. Ex-Nilo, trusted in hosting.
Johannesburg is calling this Sunday, 26th July. Thousands of Joburgers will take part in the 702 Jozi My Jozi Walk the Talk, proudly partnered by Standard Bank. The historic streets of the CBD, the start and finish line at Ellis Park, a city on the rise, growing, evolving, full of possibility. Listen, this is more than just a walk. It's Jozi coming together. Have you not registered? Are you crazy? Register now for the 702 Jozi My Jozi Walk the Talk. Standard Bank is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
Pedestrians, winter days are shorter. That means more walking in the dark. If drivers can't see you, your life is at risk. Wear bright or reflective clothing, add reflective strips to your school bag, and use a flashlight when walking at night. Walk in groups where possible. Being visible is not just a choice, it's your protection. Be bright, save your life this winter. This message is brought to you by the National Department of Transport.
This Sunday, 702 Jozi My Jozi, right? So you might want to know about your convenient park and shuttle services. So the color of your wristband, which will be contained in your walk number pack, that will correspond with your designated collection point. And it also grants you access for both outbound and return shuttle services. Monte Casino, for example, is red. Greenstone Shopping Centre is green. Clearwater Mall is blue. Gold Reef City Casino is white. Ensure that you are at your designated pickup point at least 30 minutes before your intended departure time. Shuttle buses will depart from all park and shuttle pickup points every 30 minutes, starting from 5:30 a.m. Return shuttle buses to all park and shuttle parking venues will depart from Ellis Park every 30 minutes, starting at 10 a.m. The last shuttle bus leaves Ellis Park at 4 p.m. So ensure that your wristband is securely fastened to your wrist before boarding the shuttle and keep it on for the duration of the event. And of course, if you're traveling using the Gautrain, proceed to the Gautrain station you selected during the entry process. Ensure that your walk number is clearly visible, as this will serve as your access pass to board the Gautrain. And then we'll see you there. 702 Jozi My Jozi. Babize Bonke. Hosted by the City of Joburg.
EWN Traffic.
11 to 8. Let's catch up with the roads. It's been another busy morning.
It has been indeed, Bongani. Well, we've got delays on the N1 North between Rand Park Ridge and Fourways. That's due to a major accident between these 2 points. There's also queuing traffic along Malibongo Drive towards the N1 exit. While traveling in Randburg, we still have got those delays along CR Swart Drive. An accident right near Freda Road causing heavy delays. There's also queuing traffic reported along President Fouché Drive. So most routes in the Randburg area are heavily backed up due to peak time pressure and also that accident scene. We'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. smart business decisions save money. Switch to OUTsurance Business Insurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Here's JC from Blonde Hair Studio.
I was with my previous insurer for many years before switching over to OUTsurance Business Insurance. I'm really happy with the premium I'm paying now, and switching was definitely one of the best decisions for my business.
Get a quote to switch and save today. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 0800 60,000. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online.
Same trusted We Buy Cars since 2001, hey? Whether you're buying or selling, We Buy Cars makes the process simple and seamless. Simply visit webuycars.co.za to complete the Sell My Car form for an offer, or browse through thousands of vehicles of all shapes and sizes, ready to buy, sell, or trade in. Visit webuycars.co.za or one of their branches nationwide.
It's beginning to look a lot like holiday. FlySafair's Christmas in July sale is here. And whether you've been naughty or nice, we're giving you the ultimate gift. 30% off all domestic flights until midnight for travel until 30 November 2026. Now you can have a merry little vacation at any of our 10 local destinations. It's time to slay the day. Book now at flysafair.co.za before midnight. FlySafair, for the love of flying. T's and C's apply.
702.
What's the question?
For 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to OUTsurance, please tell me what's the question. If the answer is Marmoset, let's go to Lisejo. Lisejo, what's the question?
The question is, what type of monkey was found abandoned in a laundry basket? In a laundry bag on a London bus over the weekend?
Yes, indeed. That is the question, Lisejo. Would you own a monkey?
Yes, I would.
You would own a monkey?
Yes.
Oh, no. Have you seen the teeth on that thing?
But to those tiny ones.
What if it bites you? You shouted it. What if it bites you? You shouted it too much and then it just bites you.
No, not every monkey bites.
Lisejo, monkeys belong in the forest, eh? I tell you what, no monkey business. 2,000 Rand is coming your way. All thanks to OUTsurance and 702. It's an incredible story. We were telling you about this little creature that was found on a London bus. They're now calling it Oyster because the UK has new rules about owning primates. And some owners, instead of complying, are just ditching their animals. So I want to know from you, is there an exotic or unusual, at least, a pet that you would have liked to own, maybe you do own, or one for your kids? I once thought about a guinea pig for my kids, but apparently they make quite a racket. Which one would you choose?
Good morning, Bongani. With exotic pets, we had a red knee tarantula. And last week Friday, we actually lost our gecko, an albino leopard gecko. We'd had sun gazer for 5 years and sadly passed away on Friday due to a parasite. So yeah, we love our weird pets. We just love animals actually, because we also have a dog.
To save money, you cancel subscriptions before the free trial ends. So why not spend 10 minutes getting an OUTsurance car insurance quote like 34-year-old Pretty who saves
338 Rand. And I'm here to stay.
That's an awesome 338 Rand saving on Pretty's 2025 Kia Sonet. Do it now. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. OUTsurance saves 48-year-old Adam an unbelievable 1,803 Rand on his 2020 Audi Q3.
1,803 Rand. Big drop. If you haven't had a valuation on your premiums for a while, it's worth going to OUTsurance.
You also get 5 million Rand third-party liability cover, covering damage to the other person's vehicle in an accident. How much money could OUTsurance save you? Get a quote now. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Mama Million here, and yes, I am a millionaire. The total number of lotto winners to date is
18,886,946. And the total prize money won is over 149 million rand. So what must you do with this information? Inspire yourself and play the lotto. It's still just 5 rand. Catch the live draws on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 9 p.m. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizakai.
In life's most challenging moments of loss, compassion can be your greatest comfort. You shouldn't have to face the financial burden of losing a loved one by yourself. Rest assured, Clientele's funeral plans pay out cash within 24 hours. You can cover up to 13 family members on one plan, ensuring all your loved ones are taken care of, and 3 children are covered at no additional cost. With Clientele, you're not just buying a plan, you're also buying peace of mind. When the time comes, you will need to make important calls with your 200 Rand airtime you will receive when you claim. Plans offer double accidental death cover, as well as transport, grocery, and unveiling benefits. Apply today. It's easy. There are no medical examinations and no paperwork. SMS funeral to 31586. That's 31586. Clientele Life is an authorized FSP and licensed life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
702
702. What's gone viral?
with Kabazela.
Let's catch up now with the world of viral content. Kabazela.
Good morning to you, Bele.
You're fired.
I would love to have a monkey as a pet.
No.
I really would. I swear, I'm besotted with chimpanzees.
Aren't you somebody's pet?
Only sometimes when I'm naughty.
See what I did there? You're the monkey.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is a video that this woman posted. She's on vacation with her husband. Husband gets a call from the work. And, I mean, he's almost done with the vacation, but gets a call to join on a Teams meeting. And you'll hear what happens. Let's take a listen to what she says.
So my husband and I both work full-time corporate jobs, and we saved up. We're in Hawaii. We're on a beautiful family vacation at a beautiful resort. And this morning, at about 9 a.m. Hawaii time, he gets a call from his boss and says, we need to get you on Teams. Now they know he's on vacation. He's supposed to be on vacation the rest of the week. This is our first full day in Hawaii. And he gets on Teams, and within minutes, it's terminated. And we're supposed to just enjoy our vacation. Like, it couldn't have waited till Monday to allow him, you know, we save all this money, we work hard in our jobs, and we go enjoy it. And there's just no heart.
Gosh. I mean, it's hectic, eh? Some people in the comments are saying, well, whoa, what did your husband do that they, fired him because he's on holiday? But still, it's just, that's really uncalled for, I think. And the comments, Bongles, about loyalty to your work and your workplace and your boss. And that's what I wanted to get on this morning is two things. Is how loyal are you to the company that you work for and the boss that you work for? And when you are on holiday, do you answer work calls? So it's so-and-so phoning, or I recognize this number, they're phoning me. Do you answer it when you're on holiday and you're away with family? Or do you let it ring, go to voicemail, and you say, no, I will deal with this when I get back to the office? And if you have answered that call, what is the worst call you've received from the office whilst you are on holiday?
Ooh, that's a good one. Are you loyal to your company, to your boss? Because sometimes you can be loyal to the company, but not the boss.
Or the other way
to
around.
The boss and not quite the
Yeah.
company. How do you
Yeah.
deal with those calls whilst you're on holiday and that worst call you've received? Let us know.
702
702.
Feedback with Baphelile Sambo.
Baphelile Sambo,
morning,
how
Bongani.
loyal are you to this
Very
team?
loyal. I take my calls any day, any time.
Including the unpleasant ones.
I take them. You know very well. Anyway, Bongani, just a reminder for all those who will be taking part in Walk the Talk this Sunday.
Yes, because you'll be working.
I'll be working.
Is your excuse.
Yes, that is my excuse. I'm so loyal. I am so loyal.
Oh.
Collection is happening at Ellis Park Arena. That's 29 Bertrams Road, New Dawnfontein. From tomorrow, that's 23 July, from 9 a.m. in the morning until 5 a.m. in the afternoon, and as well as on Friday, 24, same time, Saturday, 25, on the same time. That's 9 a.m. until 5 a.m. in the afternoon. p.m. Thank you so much, Amu. And most importantly, there will be no walk number collection on race day. So when you go collect, make sure you have your ID, your driver's license and or passport, as well as your confirmation document. If you can't make it yourself, someone else can collect on your behalf, but they'll need a copy of your ID, your driver's license and passport if you do have, along with your walk number confirmation. Just a request from us, try to keep the collections on behalf of others to about 2 or 3 people per person so that the process moves a little bit faster and smoothly. We can't wait to see you this Sunday.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's been great to know is that we'll also have shuttle buses. So you don't have to take the Gau train. I think it might be easier, for example, in my neighborhood to just go to Greenstone and get the shuttle there from Greenstone and come back. I can walk to Greenstone from my house, quite frankly, although I might be tired by the end of the walk the talk. So you don't have to use the Gau train. It is an option.
Yes.
So just find out which collection point, at least rather which shuttle is closest to where you live. It's 8 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Andrea Johnson denies political interference as she chooses not to incriminate herself, and witness K's lawyer says he has no idea what his client said at the Madlanga Commission. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. IDEC head Andrea Johnson is expected to continue with her testimony today at the Madlanga Commission after choosing not to testify on matters that could incriminate her. Johnson, who heads up the investigating directorate against corruption, invoked Section 35 of the Constitution yesterday, which guarantees the right against self-incrimination. She says she cannot testify on allegations that she leaked a police docket to Crime Intelligence top cop Feroz Khan relating to an ongoing criminal matter against him. Tabiso Koba has more.
In July 2018, a female crime intelligence officer opened an assault and intimidation case against Feroz Khan. Her docket included a detailed version of events and medical records outlining her injuries. However, before police could get a statement from Khan, he was already aware of the content of the dockets. Witness O, a crime intelligence officer, previously testified at the Madlanga Commission that it was Andrea Johnson who leaked the dockets to Khan. At the time, Johnson was a senior prosecutor at the NPA. Johnson says the matter of the leak is now before the NPA, awaiting a decision on whether she will be criminally charged.
Various consequences emerge. One of those consequences of the need for me to have my rights protected. Thus, when I testify on those matters, should I be called upon to, I will exercise my right not to incriminate myself.
Johnson's testimony continues today. Tabiso Koba, Eyewitness News.
At the same time, former Deputy Prosecutions Boss Anton du Plessis says the onslaught faced by IDEC is part of the teething problems a new institution will inevitably go through. He says the recent appointment of an IDEC oversight judge is one such mechanism that will help strengthen the anti-corruption busting agency. Du Plessis was speaking at the Cape Town Press Club yesterday. Lindsay Dentlinker was there.
As the right hand of former National Prosecuting Authority head Shamila Batoy, Anton du Plessis was part of the leadership that fought for the Investigative Directorate to become an independent entity within the NPA. But barely 2 years into its establishment, and its head, Andrea Johnson, is being accused of misconduct and facing the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry to answer to these allegations. While du Plessis is loath to comment on the specifics, he's still giving the IDEC the benefit of the doubt. He says while the Madlanga Commission still needs to make findings on whether individuals are compromised, it's inevitable that new institutions like the IDEC will face adversity as they establish themselves.
I still believe IDEC is a very important step in the right direction.
Du Plessis says South Africa's democratic institutions are still in their infancy and they require more investment to build them up rather than to break them down. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
Lawyers for a JMPD officer accused of stealing gemstones worth nearly 15 million rand say they have no knowledge of their client's earlier admission to the crime. The cop told the Madlanga Commission last month that she was involved in the theft of the precious stones in 2023. She said the robbery was meant to look like a police operation led by suspended Ekurhuleni suspended senior officer Julius Mkhwanazi. Witness K and Mkhwanazi were arrested on Friday in connection with the robbery. They were released on 5,000 rand bail each in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court yesterday. Alfara Mushwana was in court.
When Witness K was questioned by Commissioner Sandile Khumalo at the Madlanga
commission, she admitted that the plan from the get-go was to steal the precious stones.
So all you care about was to rob somebody and sell the stones to Mr. Salmon and get the cash. That's all you are interested in.
It's true, Commissioner. But her lawyer, Oscar Tobakare, now says he knows nothing about his client confessing to stealing and selling the stones.
So at this juncture, I can safely say my client is innocent. I am not privy to the statement or rather the affidavit submitted at Madlanga Commission of Inquiry.
Witness K and Mkwanazi will return to court on the 25th of August alongside 2 EMPD officers who are allegedly involved in the robbery. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
And U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says America's war against Iran has cost the U.S. $37.5 billion since late February. Hegseth testified during a Senate Appropriations Committee hearing where he defended a request for $67 billion in supplementary funding for the Pentagon. Hegseth told Congress that the funding request is urgent and necessary to pay the Pentagon's costs for the Iran war through the end of September. But Democrats challenged that assessment, saying Hegseth still has $75 billion available in unspent funding, but he says that the unspent money was allocated for President Donald Trump's other priorities like the Golden Dome for America.
Not fully funding this department, the Department of War, and we know what that means, that means $1.5 trillion. Given the world that we live in and the disaster of what the Biden administration budgets gave us, not funding this department at $1.5 trillion, I believe, is the greatest threat that our nation faces.
Gold is trading at $4,132.44 an ounce. The rand is at 16.46 to the dollar, 22.03 to the pound, 18.78 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $92.33 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 North. This is between Beyers Naudé Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive. That's due to an accident. There's also queuing traffic along Malibongwe Drive between Oliver North Avenue and the N1 exit.
And in your sport, Chelsea signed Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa. Banyana's arrived in Casablanca for WAFCON. That starts on Sunday. And former Australian batter David Warner has pleaded guilty to drink driving.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 22 and 24 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. IDEC head Andrea Johnson is expected to continue with her testimony at the Madlanga Commission today after choosing not to testify on matters that could incriminate her.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
We're calling on Joburg to walk the inner city with us. In 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Babize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
8 minutes after 8 o'clock, all eyes once more on the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry as IDEC head Andrea Johnson is expected to continue with her testimony today. Yesterday, she chose not to answer questions that related to specific matters because she's worried about self-incrimination. She was pressed, of course, by the commissioners about, hang on, you answered some of these questions. We want to ask you at the ad hoc committee. She says, yeah, but now there's a decision before the NPA about whether or not to prosecute me. So I'm afraid I might say something here that will incriminate me there. But hang on a minute. Isn't it about the truth? I mean, if you tell the truth, it's the truth. Now, if that truth leads you to being prosecuted, it's still the truth. What am I missing? Do you get it?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Spare a thought for the thousands of students who, even at this stage in July, aren't quite sure about their funding because they're waiting for an answer from NSFAS, this edifice that has been built to facilitate the disbursements of funds to needy students. Why not pay that money from, SARS, for example, straight into the institutions or the students who need them? Why do you need an extra entity with staff, executives, and all the bells and whistles that go with it to do something, to fulfill a function existing bodies within the state machinery could easily fulfill? Who better than SARS to disperse those funds? Who better than SARS to assess the eligibility of students, the needs assessment for the students who apply? That's the conversation we had a little earlier on with Yusuf Kasim, the Deputy Higher Education Minister. Kabazela wants to know, how loyal are you to your workplace? The video that, of course, he's posted now, you can check it out on X. Follow him at Jono Loud. I think that's the same handle he uses on Instagram, Jono Loud, at Jono Loud. They're on vacation. They're posting lovely pictures of themselves, sunsets and pink drinks with umbrellas. And they get a call from the boss saying, by the time you come back, the husband will be out of a job. Have you had such a dreaded call? Is it worth being loyal to the company or the boss that you work for?
Good morning, Bongani and the team. I remember at my former job, I was on my way from Nelspruit to Polokwane for festive holidays. I've already taken my leave, and my boss called me and said there's a pipe burst in Sanderton, and I arranged one of the project managers to go and attend to the pipe burst. But when my boss called me, he was calling me all the way from Mauritius, and when he called me and I told him I have arranged one of these project managers who stays in Joburg to attend to it because she is closer, and he said, I never want to see that person on my project ever again. I want you to go and attend to that matter. My family and I, we had to reroute and spend our Christmas fixing a pipe in Standerton, and I somehow had to deliver the news to the lady to say, you are fired, I guess.
Hey, Bongani, Gareth from Alberton here. I've been with my company for almost 23 years now. I'm insanely loyal to them, and yeah, you know what? I answer calls whenever is required, type of thing. I find that our customers come first, and yeah, man, that's the way it should work.
Morning, Bongs. I'm loyal. My boss calls me on Sunday, I'm going to answer. I'm loyal to both the boss and the organization because I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And being there for so long, I can tell that I work with genuine people. Answering of calls, yes, I do. Because the worst call I received was when I was on my December leave holiday and we were told that one of our colleagues got gunned down and she passed away. So I take the calls. I take them. Sekaya lapaya.
I tell my bosses, text me, please don't call me. There's nothing like that number flashing, that name flashing on your screen. You think, why are you calling me?
It's urgent.
Text
I
me.
don't have the time to
No,
text. It's
text
urgent.
me. I'm not going to answer because I have to sit and deal with my anxiety.
There's no time to process some of these things when they happen. No.
Guys,
Phone.
now you're going to get me. You won't get answered. See how urgently you'll deal with your problem then.
Sure.
Because I don't know why you're calling me. You can't prove that I saw it. You can't prove that I saw the call.
Yeah, but do you want a job when you get
Give me
back?
an idea of what you want to talk about. Then I can prepare myself.
How should I prepare
Because you're
you?
making me anxious.
Bongani, how did we communicate in the days before WhatsApp and
Even with
texting?
my friends, don't just call me. Why are you calling me? Something happened. Is there an emergency? Now you're making me worried and I'm thinking of all kinds of scenarios and possibilities in my head. And
So we must book an appointment first.
I mean,
somebody gets it. This EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. And you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amo, who's sitting in traffic relating to how I'm feeling about phone calls from the boss?
this is the best place to actually take phone calls when you are stuck in traffic. You've got all the time in day to take those
Now I
phone
must worry
calls.
about traffic and my boss calling.
No, just worry about the phone call. Well, we've got delays between Beasley Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive. This is due to an accident. There's also queuing traffic reported along Malibongo Drive towards the N1 exit. While traveling within the Sharon Lee Randburg areas, do expect heavier traffic volumes along CR Swart. This is because of an accident right near President Foshe and another one near Freda Road, causing these long queues. So please try to avoid if you can. And then if you're traveling on the M1 South, we've got delays approaching Car Street. That's due to an accident. Please be on the lookout there. We'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
20 minutes watching DIY hacks goes by quickly, but 20 minutes stuck in traffic, well, that feels like forever, does it not? Fortunately, the Outsurance Pointsmen save the day. These heroes in green and purple have been easing traffic congestion for the past 20 years. The Outsurance Pointsmen helping everyone get to where they need to be quickly and safely. Just another way you always get something out. In proud partnership with 702. Show them some love online using hashtag Pointsmanlove. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
It's 8:15. On to this now. How many times have you heard someone say, particularly if they're a teenager in your life, I'm just not a maths person? Have you been a parent watching your little one struggle with maths? And that's, of course, if they do maths at all, because so many children don't do maths. In fact, isn't it worrying that more than 400 schools in South Africa don't even offer the subject because of teacher shortages, limited resources, and budget constraints? And at the same time, 97% of all distinctions in the subject mathematics come from only 200 schools. And that gives you a picture of inequality, not only just generally, but even in education, and particularly when it comes to maths. So what's the solution? Well, listen to this. Prime Media Cares has started a partnership with Shaya Izibalo Maths Institute. It was founded in 2021 by Paul de Wet, a lifelong maths education teacher himself, providing, in fact, maths to one of the highest schools, highest performing schools in the land. And he decided that his expertise perhaps should be accessed by kids from around the country. So here to talk to us about it, Paul de Wet, who is the founder of Shaya Izibalo Maths Institute, but also Trish Taylor, who is the head of Prime Media Cares, to explain how all of this is going to work within our Prime Media ecosystem. Paul de Wet, firstly, welcome to you to 702 Breakfast.
Thank you very much, Bongani. It's an enormous privilege and a pleasure to be here, and we're excited to raise awareness about
Listen, I'm a parent who pulls my hair out because I want to help my kid who is struggling with maths, but I recall I didn't do higher grade maths such as it was in those days, so I'm not best placed to help them either. How is this a game changer?
So what we believe in is the sort of intersection of write-in workbooks, so workbooks per learner per term, and they are, as I say, they're write-in. That creates a very compelling sort of engagement from learners. It also ensures coverage. Workbooks are also very time efficient, so where graphs need to be drawn, the axes are provided, etc.
So they do the work in the book itself?
In the workbook, yeah. So it's not a textbook model, it's a workbook model. But then in tandem with that, and really our sort of sweet spot is the intersection of that with teaching videos of myself teaching to every single page of the workbook. Those videos are hosted on the Prime Media Plus platform and also on our website, which is 0 rated for data.
So for people who say, hang on, I'm just not a maths person, can this take a struggling learner to some measure of success?
No doubt. Yeah, absolutely no doubt. I mean, we last year, some of the schools that we worked with down in KwaZulu-Natal, where we come from, we had, for example, a learner, Limpilo, from, she was actually at a school up in Mpumalanga, but using our resources, end of grade 11, she had 7% for maths. End of grade 12, she had 52% for maths.
Goodness me, that's a vast improvement. Yeah. And just for context, I wonder if you wouldn't mind sharing what school you have mostly taught maths at.
Yeah, so I've been very blessed to have taught in a number of schools. I currently teach part-time at Michael House, and I've taught there for a total of 15 years.
And I thought that's important context, just to give a sense of the quality that underpins the offering that you are talking about. So in other words, you are saying to us that kids who access this thing could have a relatively similar standard of the maths you teach in your classrooms every day.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, Simi was born, Simi is the short name for the Shai Izibalo Maths Institute. Shai Izibalo means hit the numbers in isiZulu. Simi was born out of a sense of understanding that the privilege that I've had is accompanied by the responsibility to give back. So that's really where it comes from.
All right, Trish, let's talk about where Prime Media comes into this. As Paul has already said, Prime Media will be hosting. This will be the platform where you can access this. And how will that work?
So once again, we are very excited to partner with the Shaya Izibala Maths Institute. It is wonderful for us to, be able to liberate this world-class content. And to Paul's point, the fact that, we've got learners that are struggling with maths, and we want to take one of the best maths teachers in the country with the videos and the resources that he's created, and really allow access to all learners that can, become better at maths, and the case studies are there to prove it. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be hosting all these video lessons. They are already actually live on Prime Media Plus.
So you just get the app.
You just download the Prime Media Plus app, and you can go live. There are videos live at the moment, grades from grade 8 to 12. So you can do that, or go directly onto simi.education. And once again, I think we feel very privileged to be part of helping with this maths crisis in South Africa.
Is there any subscription fee I'm going to have to
Nothing.
pay once I'm on Prime Media Plus?
No, there's absolutely no subscription. This is a free resource for all learners.
Paul, different schools teach differently, different teachers have different teaching styles. How difficult will it be if, Mrs. van der Merwe teaches me one way and now you've taught me another?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. We ultimately really want to try and support teachers. So our hope is that teachers would use the resource. A teacher who's competent and confident can just use the resource themselves in teaching in the class. A teacher who's less competent and maybe unconfident in a topic could watch the video of me teaching in preparation for his or her lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And then either way, we want the learners to access the videos as remediation.
And learners can do this by themselves. Yeah, they don't need the teacher to be with them.
Correct, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, sounds absolutely fantastic. I think this will be the answer to many, a learner, a teacher, and a parent's prayer.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
No, absolutely. And I think, in closing, I think what's wonderful is that these lessons and these videos are broken down per lesson. And I must say, I went onto the Simi platform on Prime Media Plus, and it was a real eye-opener for me, having done maths many years ago.
What did you get?
I'm not going to tell you, Bongani.
Was it at least higher grade or standard grade?
I will need some.
The dreaded lower grade.
I need to watch more of the videos.
Perhaps, Paul, a final question to you. I mean, it's the middle of the year now, so obviously half of the year is already gone. If I'm in, grade 10 or grade 11 or even grade 12, do I now go and start at the beginning of the year and sort of revise everything I've been taught? Can I pick it up from where I am in the middle of the year, in the middle of the syllabus?
I mean, I think the thing with maths is it's so layered in terms of foundations. So very often kids that struggle with maths, their troubles actually predate even the current year. Often a grade 12 student doesn't have the necessary sort of skills at a grade 10 level. But we do also offer online revision sessions for each of the grades, and we also offer teacher training online as well.
All right, so try and deal with the issues you are actually struggling with and identify those lessons, and that could be a starting point. It's all available on Prime Media Plus. Just download the app and Bob's your uncle, or Paul's your uncle, so to speak, and you'll be able to learn maths in this way, and I think it could do an incredible amount of good in helping those learners who are behind to catch up.
702. The World View
with Adam Gilchrist.
Well, talking about catching up, news from elsewhere in the world. Adam Gilchrist, let's start with this tragic anniversary, I suppose. Hey, it's been 15 years for Norwegians. This was a particularly poignant moment.
Yeah, and didn't it shock the world generally? Yeah, so Norway has opened a new memorial for the 77 victims of the country's deadliest attack in peacetime, basically. It is today the 15th anniversary of the island attack by Anders Breivik, although he didn't just start with the island. He detonated a car bomb in Oslo that killed 8 people, a neo-Nazi by his own description. He then dressed as a policeman, boarded a ferry to Utøya Island and shot dead another 69 people, mostly teenagers, at a youth socialist camp on the island. Hundreds more were injured also in the process. So the memorial depicts a large wading bird that is native to Utøya Island, 12 meters high it is, and it has the names of all 77 who perished as a result of Breivik's actions. So what they're hoping is in Norway is that it's still a very shocking incident and the details are still very chilling, but they hope the memorial will A, remind people, but B, also the need for, as they put it, democratic resilience against extremist ideologies. And don't we all hope for that?
Indeed. Now, as my dearly departed aunt might say, Adam, tit for tat, butter for fat. US and Canada, another trade war tiff.
I wonder if butter and fat are included in the latest tariffs that Donald Trump has imposed.
Very sharp, very sharp.
Could be there. Some weird things are, I mean, metals, cars are very complicated because in North America, bits are built in Canada, America, Mexico. Which bit is which bit is being tariffed? We had that 18 months ago when Donald Trump first announced his tariffs. But also cement and ice hockey sticks are going to have tariffs on them, which is just kind of weird. So Donald Trump says this is in retaliation for unequal treatment of American cars, dairy and alcohol that have been sent to Canada. So Canada's Prime Minister, Mark Carney, has talked about how all options are on the table, and you're right about the tit for tat. It could get very titty and tatty, and at the same time they might intensify trade talks. We also know there's a bit of a taco thing, isn't there, with Donald Trump? It's, you know, will he chicken out and will he actually deliver? He seems to be quite keen on the tariffs as a weapon for trade talks, even though the US Supreme Court ruled that they were illegal. We watch the US-Canada trade war aghast and amazed and thankfully from afar. We hope it doesn't affect us, eh?
Yes, indeed. Let's start now, or let's end, I should rather say, with this lucky escape for a granddad. I mean, when we all watched Dances with Wolves, we didn't think they were all that harmful, did we?
No, although in the case of Carl Issam McDaniel, he's in a hospital bed with a lot of broken bones. He'll be thanking some lucky stars somewhere that a rampaging bison didn't gore him or stomp on him. It chose to attack him, but didn't carry through, as it were. So this is sudden aggression, apparently. He said that there was the bison sort of sitting on a tree or on a tree trunk, 900 kilos of beast, and then suddenly up came the bison. Carl and his grandson were there. Grandson escaped and went off to one side, but it was Carl that the animal went for. And obviously he's in a bad way. And by the way, the video of this goes on for about 3 minutes. It's gone viral. It's pretty much the same aggression and violence that you guys might see in a buffalo, buffaloes and bisons. And it recalls my mother's favorite joke. What's the difference between a buffalo and a bison? You can wash your hands in a bison. Yeah, that's my mother for you.
And the other, of course, might be the nickname of a president, but that's a story for another day. Adam? Katanga, Katanga, Katanga. That's this morning's Worldview.
EWN Business.
If you missed that Katanka reference, go watch that famous Kevin Costner film Dances with Wolves, one of the best Hollywood has ever produced. Right, let's talk business news now. Ray White, a new plan to get oil from Saudi Arabia to the rest of the world.
Yeah, they are running out of routes, I'm afraid. Asian refiners are now seeking to ship crude oil from Saudi Arabia's Red Sea port through the Suez Canal and around Africa. This is after Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthis said they would impose a naval blockade on Saudi Arabia. The move marks the latest redirection of oil flows due to the US-Israeli war with Iran, which has sharply cut supplies. Refiners have been pushed to undertake different routes to oil tankers carrying Saudi crude to Asia reversed course in the Red Sea yesterday after threats from those Houthis. Vessels crossing via the Strait of Hormuz have also stopped operating after Iran targeted vessels. So new plans coming up, Bongs.
Well, I'm not sure how they're going to avoid the Houthis. I almost had to look at a map of that part of the world. And just beneath Saudi Arabia, of course, is where you would find Yemen. And that's where the Houthis are to be found. But, I mean, all of it means certainly the price of oil is going to keep climbing.
Yeah, it will, I'm afraid, and that's the big thing. Oil prices inched higher in early trading this morning as fears of further supply disruptions intensified. This comes after U.S. forces said it began striking Iranian military targets for the 11th straight night, and Kuwait reported attacks by Iranian drones. So that Brent crude oil price now $92.26. Let's hope it doesn't get worse than that.
All right, give me the rest of the indicators.
Okay, well, let's look at those markets. Stocks jumped at the start of trading in Asia, but settled back as investors took cues from a rebound in U.S. markets. They have been largely shrugging off climbing oil prices as those rebels attacked. The Nikkei up 1.75, the Hang Seng losing slightly. The U.S. Wall Street seeing their three main indices up. Looking at our rand is now 16.45. That's a dollar, a little bit stronger this morning. 22.02 to the pound. 18.77 is the euro. Platinum $1,667.80. Gold is $4,126.70. Brent crude oil, like I said, $92.26. More business news with Stephen later on this afternoon.
8:30 exactly, time for your latest Eyewitness News. Up next, of course, another corporate that cares. In the meantime, Sfisa Zulu, it's straight to the headmaster's office.
That's right. Bongani, good morning. Days after admitting it had just 12 days cash cover, the city of Joburg has met with Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana to agree on measures to stabilize its finances. The meeting follows National Treasury's decision to withhold money for at least a month over serious financial and governance concerns. Earlier this month, the city paid more than 3.4 million rand to settle a debt that disrupted services at its flagship customer service centre. Kosikona Malingamnisi has more.
Despite the city's worsening financial position and the struggles facing several of its entities, Johannesburg insists it is not in crisis. The city says its meeting with Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana focused on progress made, outstanding challenges and practical steps to strengthen its finances. National Treasury will continue closely monitoring the city's spending with ongoing engagements planned. Mayor Dada Morero has welcomed Treasury's commitment to support the city's financial recovery, saying they both agreed on practical interventions to improve finances and accelerate service delivery.
But what was key was also to take the minister into confidence about the current financial position of the city so that he could also know what interventions he would need to make to ensure that we succeed.
The city has, however, not disclosed what those interventions will be. Kosikona Malingamnisi, Eyewitness News.
Two men, including a Gauteng police officer, have been killed during a violent altercation at a mine in Limpopo. Police say a shooting happened in Mahlokwane village yesterday, where the victims allegedly claimed to have a court order to stop mining operations there, saying they held shares at the mine. Officers say the men were waiting for the mine owner when they were confronted by a group of people who arrived in several vehicles. Limpopo spokesperson Malisela Letwaba.
It is alleged that an altercation erupted when a group went to the mine claiming that they have a court order to stop the operations. While waiting, several vehicles arrived and the fight broke out. One man was killed at the scene, a second died in a local hospital. One of the deceased is a 40-year-old SAPS member from Gauteng.
Please note the following story contains disturbing details. The Western Cape High Court will today sentence a man convicted of raping and murdering his son's friend at a sleepover. The 8-year-old boy was found dead in a bed at the accused's home in Kraaifontein in 2023. The man was arrested a week later. It emerged during the 3-year trial that he's also linked to a rape case dating back to 2005. A climatologist says the forecast of El Nino weather system could place South Africa's crops under pressure. El Nino occurs when temperatures in the eastern Pacific Ocean rise above 1 to 2 degrees above normal, disrupting wind patterns and rainfall. Peter Johnston says the weather pattern has already been detected, although its impact is not guaranteed. But he says farmers in some of the hottest provinces, including Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, the Northwest and the Free State, would be able to manage it if it materializes.
We've been looking at heat-resistant seed and also been looking at ways of planting, so that planting happens in order to save soil moisture and also take advantage of the conditions which are not conducive to huge yields.
Agriculture economist Wandile Slobo says it remains unclear whether the upcoming El Nino will be as severe as in 2015 when maize production dropped by 50%.
Back then, we did not have as much soil moisture on the ground, and we did not have as ample grain supplies as we have today. We are closing some of the excellent 2 seasons which have enabled South Africa to have good agricultural supplies, which set us up somewhat well ahead of the start of this challenging season.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 22 and 24 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the M2 West between Heidelberg Road and the Crown Interchange. There's also bumper-to-bumper traffic along the Mike 1 North between Corlett Drive and Grayston Drive.
The top story this hour. Days after admitting it had just 12 days cash cover, the city of Joburg has met with Finance Minister to agree on measures to stabilize its finances.
Mama Million here, and yes, I am a millionaire. The total number of lotto winners to date is 18,886,946, and the total prize money won is over 149 million rand. So what must you do with this information? Inspire yourself and play the lotto. It's still just 5 rand. Catch the live draws on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 9 p.m. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizakai.
Some of the biggest advances in health are happening right here in South Africa. Local researchers are studying a promising new TB vaccine candidate called M72, one that could help stop people from getting seriously ill. Programs like Coach Mpilo are helping men living with HIV overcome stigma, start treatment and stay on it. It's South African science, innovation and community leadership helping shape the future of global health. It's supported by the Gates Foundation over the last 25 years. Partners of human potential.
It's always the same with you. I want this, I need that, and somehow I am always the one paying for it. I think we need a little time apart. Not forever, just long enough for me to build some interest again. After all, distance makes the funds grow stronger.
Give your money time this July savings month. Open a Nedbank 32-day notice account on the Money app and earn up to 7.55% interest with 0 monthly fees. Go to nedbank.co.za. See money differently. Nedbank. We're a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Welcome to Nando's Taste-Demonials. It's the flavor! Real reviews by real people. Nico from Kailami is in touch with his emotions. So when we asked about the Nando's Peri Peri half chicken and a single side for only $1.25, he said,
I'm sad. I finished it.
Ah, Nikos, ungawari. Because this chicken season has more episodes. Nando's. Oh, what a place.
What is your business here? You didn't start your business to play it safe. You took the leap, made the bold move, and now it's time to make the next one. This week, 702 and Budget Business Insurance are giving small businesses the chance to win their share of 100,000 Rand with the Budget BizBucks Bonanza. Enter on PrimeMediaPlus.com. Tell us about the boldest move you've ever made in your business and what your next one will be. Then get an obligation-free Budget Business Insurance quote. 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa could call you. Budget Insurance is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's apply.
This Sunday, Joburg will come together for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. But before you walk with the people, for the people, you'll need to collect your walk number from Ellis Park Arena. That's 29 Bertram's Road, New Doornfontein. Collections take place every Thursday until Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So please bring your ID document, your driver's license or passport, a copy of this confirmation to make your registration as seamless as possible. Now, if you cannot collect your walk pack in person, a friend or colleague can collect on your behalf. They'll need to bring along a copy of your ID, your driver's license or passport, plus the walk number confirmation. Please note, no collections will be permitted on the race day. The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, Babize Bonke, hosted by the City of Johannesburg.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
I am extremely loyal to my work. I work for my family company. My father is the CEO and the founder of the company. So I find it easy. But I've realized lately that it does take over my life. And especially if you're going to be working with family, you have to set boundaries. So I've learned to set the boundaries, and it's a good environment. I take the calls, the messages, I work on weekends. I don't sleep. I just make sure that the work is delivered.
Morning, Bongos and team. I'm loyal. I'm loyal to the organization. I'm loyal to my managers, my directors. I'm loyal. I'll do anything they ask me to do, as long as it's in line with the work that I do. However, they must text me. My manager is long-winded on the phone.
Good morning, Bongs and the team. I'm very loyal to my company and my boss. However, based on past experience in this very same company that I work with or work for, when there's been quite a lot of things that have not been fulfilled, yet I went above and beyond to make things happen. So because of that, when I'm on leave or on holiday or whatnot, no, I'm not doing any work.
Good morning, 702. Yeah, I am with Bongani on that one. When it comes to taking, work-related calls while I'm on vacation, I think text me first so that I know what it is you're calling me about, and then I can decide whether or not I can take that call. Because just calling me, I won't take it. Guys, it's work at the end of the day. I've got a very good relationship with my manager, and I really love my job. I'm very loyal to the company, but I take vacation because I need to be away from there. So if they can't respect that, which means there's something really that has happened, but then text me first before you call me, then I can take that if I have to, but at least allow me that choice to decide whether or not I need to be involved in what's going on now at work while I'm on vacation. Lee here from Kempton Park. Thanks, Bongani.
Bongani, is that why I don't call you? I only send voice message. You'll never hear my voice calling you directly. I'll be sending you SMSs or WhatsApp messages or voice messages.
Oh, gosh. Bosses, text us. Give us time to prepare for why it is you want to speak to us. Be mindful of our anxiety.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, I suppose one of the things that emerges after a major competition are clubs looking for players, and certainly there'll be lots who have been impressive to particular clubs, eh?
Yeah, and it's all just transfer news now as we warm up to the upcoming league seasons, which all start in a couple of weeks' time. But the biggest one overnight is Chelsea completing the signing of Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa for a record £117 million, making him the most expensive British player. Villa, in return, I don't know why, are trying to buy Garnacho. Orlando Pirates tonight play Las Palmas in the fourth match of their pre-season tour. Last night they suffered a first tour defeat. They lost to Saudi side Al Ittihad 3-2. Kickoff tonight is 7 p.m. Banyana's in Casablanca for the Women's AFCON. They're in Group B with Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, and Monday night's opponent Tanzania. Coach Desiree Ellis.
We just have to make sure that we get the mix right of youth and experience, get the mix right of the versatility that we're looking for, get the mix right of covering all positions for every eventuality, because in this tournament you have to be adaptable.
Former Australia batter David Warner has pleaded guilty to drink driving. Warner, who had 3 glasses of wine at a friend's apartment before getting into his car, will be sentenced on the 18th of August. Warner faces a minimum disqualification from driving of 6 months, potential 25,000 Rand fine, and possibly 9 months in jail. In boxing, South African Kevin Lerena will go back down to the cruiserweight division in an attempt to become a 3-time world champion. In rugby, Italian prop Marco Riccioni has been banned for 2 matches for his red card in the Australia game. Riccioni was on the sidelines, not even part of Italy's matchday 20 squad. He was in a tracksuit, but got involved in a scrap that had spilt over the touchline during the second half. In cricket, New Zealand lost the West Indies by 2 wickets in the 5th ODI, but still won the series 3-2. And at the Tour de France, Tadej Pogacar still has the yellow jersey, 4 minutes ahead of Remco Evenepoel. Yesterday, Evenepoel won the individual time trial, 28 seconds faster than Pogacar.
Just remind me, Cindy, wasn't David Warner part of...
Yes.
What was it?
Sandgate? Sandpapergate, yes.
Sandpapergate.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Yes. Cindy Pelusa, Eyewitness News Sport.
Joburg, it's time to show up for our city. On Sunday, 26 July, join thousands of Joburgers for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk in proud partnership with Standard Bank. Walk through the heart of Johannesburg, celebrate its rich history, and experience the positive growth taking place in the CBD. As a committed partner, passionate about the growth of our city, Standard Bank invites you to be part of a movement that's helping build a safer, stronger, and spirited Josie for generations to come. Register now and take the walk that brings Johannesburg together. The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, proudly partnered by Standard Bank.
Polar Ice Cream is walking the talk, a proud sponsor of the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, bringing families, friends, communities together for something bigger. And when you cross that finish line, just imagine what's waiting for you. Strawberry sensation, choc overload, milky pie, custard and jelly. Gonna have to try that one. Lots more delicious Polar favorites will be there. So lace up those walking shoes, gather your chommies, and make some sweet memories. Polar Ice Cream, share the happiness.
Right, gang, are we all in? Liam? Here. Ethan? Here. Andrew? Here. Luca? Yeah. Amelia? Yeah. Violet? Yeah, Mom. Introducing the Chungun CS75 Pro, a powerful turbocharged engine, modern safety features, and room with 7 seats for everyone.
Hey, that's not everyone. You forgot Choppy, Mom.
Oh, Choppy. The all-new CS75 Pro. Chungun. Driven to evolve.
RMB has once again been recognized at the prestigious Euro Money Awards for Excellence 2026, Best Investment Bank for Africa and South Africa, and other awards. It's all about RMB's ability to help corporates and institutions navigate complex decisions, unlock investment, and drive growth across Africa. And tomorrow we'll be in conversation with them, and they'll explain what these awards mean and how they continue to deliver value. RMB is a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
EWN Traffic.
14 to 9. Amo, let's wrap up the morning's traffic.
Well, Bongani, we've got delays on the M1 North between Glenhove Road and Grayston Drive. There's also queuing traffic on the M1 South between Marlborough Drive and Corlett Drive. While traveling in the Randburg area, do expect heavy delays on Malibongwe Drive approaching the N1, along with Sierra Swat Drive. This is due to an accident near Freda Road. We'll have more details at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
You know when your people are giving their best. Not because they're pushed or pressured, but because they feel supported. And support is making sure they're covered. So if something happens, they can get the care they need. FlexiCare Health Insurance makes it simple for every business to protect their people with affordable health cover. You care. We cover. For a tailored FlexiCare quote, speak to your financial advisor today. FlexiCare is not a medical scheme and the cover is not the same. FlexiCare is underwritten by Auto & General, a licensed non-life insurer and FSP, and administered by Discovery Health, an authorized FSP.
It's beginning to look a lot like holiday. NSFAS Christmas in July sale is here. And whether you've been naughty or nice, we're giving you the ultimate gift. 30% off all domestic flights until midnight for travel until 30 November 2026. Now you can have a merry little vacation at any of our 10 local destinations. It's time to slay the day. Book now at flysaffair.co.za before midnight. Flysaffair, for the love of flying. T's and C's apply.
Peregrine Capital presents Brian Habana's Count to 100.
In my journey to 100, it started with my first cap, then my second, 10th, 50th, 90th, 99th.
Brian Habana, his 100th international test.
You get to 100 one decision at a time. For 28 years, Peregrine Capital has applied that same discipline to turn 1 million rand into 100 million. Peregrine Capital. Invest in performance. An authorized FSP. Past performance non-indicative of future performance. T's and C's apply.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
Clement Manyatela in the studio with us. He is here today to tell us himself what's going to be on the show this morning.
I'm sorry I couldn't
Unlike
come yesterday. Why are you shading me? I am sorry.
You didn't want to incriminate
yourself. I was busy addressing Leonard's.
You didn't want to incriminate yourself.
School, so that's why I was late yesterday.
All right, talk to us.
So today on the show, we are going to talk about Andrea Johnson. I'm trying to connect the dots here. She refused yesterday to answer questions related to the allegation that she forwarded information about a complainant to Khan. But the commissioner is going to ask her anyway. And I was trying to remember who was overseeing the investigation into the Murray murders. Remember Klute, Murray, Shadrach Sibiya was. And News 24 reported that evidence has been so overwhelming, it was so surprising why the police didn't act. Well, are you surprised that the police didn't act? Shadrach Sibiya was overseeing the investigation and Khan was possibly involved. So we're going to try connect the dots on the open line today. And then at 10 o'clock, we'll take you back to the Madlanga Commission to hear how she's going to be probed. 10:30, we are going to count down to the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Today, we're speaking to one of our key city champion partners, Standard Bank.
Clement Manyatela, between 9 and 12.
The world's best male and female paddle players are coming to South Africa. The historic Premier Paddle Pretoria P1 will be at Sunbet Arena Times Square from 26 July to the 2nd of August. Expect world-class action, unbelievable energy, premium hospitality, and an atmosphere unlike anything South African sport has seen before. This is Africa's biggest paddle tournament ever, and tickets are selling fast. Don't miss your chance to witness the sport's biggest stars in South Africa. Get your tickets now at primemediaplus.com.
On Sunday, 26 July, ABSA and Mazda are making your 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk truly iconic, with a chance to win a brand new Mazda 2 on the day. To enter, download, register and transact on the ABSA banking app between 26 June and 20 July 2026. Josie, ABSA sees you. Asambe. ABSA is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. Competition terms and conditions apply.
Mama Million here, and yes, I am a millionaire. The total number of lotto winners to date is 18,886,946, and the total prize money won is over 149 million rand. So what must you do with this information? Inspire yourself and play the lotto. It's still just 5 rand. Catch the live draws on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 9 p.m. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizakai.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
All right, it is a Wednesday, of course. One of the most exciting parts of the show, I think, every week is meeting corporates that care, where we put a spotlight on businesses and individuals making a difference in our communities. I mean, I think since the inception of this feature, it's an initiative that has gained remarkable momentum. And we always, of course, appreciate the support of Prime Media Outdoor. So today, the spotlight is on the Cape Town International Convention Centre, and also the fact that they are preparing to host the Youth in Action Expo, which connects young people with universities, with employers, with government departments, and organizations offering education, training, career guidance, and business support. Who better then to tell us all about it than CEO Toby Mutlabane? A very good morning to you and welcome to 702 Breakfast.
Thank you so much, Bongani. Good morning.
I always ask this question at the beginning, and I'll do it with you.
Yeah.
Why are you, as the CTICC, a corporate that cares?
Well, for us, it's a no-brainer to actually recognize that our business is dependent on people. And if we don't care about the communities in which we operate, our business won't last. So we are very, very clear that we exist because the communities in which we operate actually allow us to exist.
I mean, the CTICC in my head is probably one of the premier conferencing venues in the entire country, not just for the city of Cape Town. And often I would imagine you host conversations about making a difference in our society, in our country. Why particularly the youth?
Well, South Africa has got one of the highest unemployment rates. And we know that, in 50 years, you and I will not be running the country. It is the young people that will be there. So it's very, very
alive. I don't mind
You
running
won't be alive.
I won't be running me.
So it's very, very important that we invest in people that actually will be running the country, will be running the CTICC when some of us will be gone. And for us, if we're looking to ensure that, our country continues to prosper in how we want it to prosper, investing in the youth is absolutely imperative.
Well, you started this expo in 2023. What was the vision then, and how has it come along?
Well, the vision then was actually the vision of a junior staffer who came and said, look, yeah, it was not any executive who came up with a brilliant idea.
Not the CEO.
No, not the CEO.
Not all the ideas are yours, hey?
No, not at all. So it was a junior staffer who said, look, I struggled to land where I am right now. And how about we do an expo? That is our expo. We fund it. We don't charge for it. Exhibitors and students can come. And we give people opportunities to realize what opportunities in terms of careers are there, and to involve universities, the Department of Education, private sector, and training facilitators, bursary companies, to actually give people the opportunity to see where they can land after school. And he said that when he left high school, for 3 years, he didn't know what to do because he had no clue. So the vision was to help, even if it's a handful of people, to get an idea of what is available, especially in the business events industry. People think that if you're working in a convention center, the only thing you can do is be a waitress or be a chef or be an event. But you can be an engineer and work in a convention center space. You can be a security person and work in the convention center space. So to open up opportunities and ideas of what is possible was something. It started quite small, and right now we are inundated with exhibitors. We're expecting over 300 exhibitors now.
Oh, wow. I mean, you can be a sound engineer, you can
Yes.
be in IT, you can be in audiovisual.
You can be a building
presentations,
engineer.
You can be all these things.
Yes.
So what do typical exhibitors come and show?
Well, we've got exhibitors in the form of, we've got banks, we've got the South African Defence Force comes and exhibit, the South African Police, when I say the Defence Force, it's the Navy, the pilots, and we've got departments of education that will talk about different streams to follow in matric, depending on what your passion is. We've got exhibitors that do training, so we've got people that have won training for 12 months, based on, like Stellenbosch Business School will say, here's a short course that will guide people in terms of what the possibilities are. And of course, we've got partners like the Gift of the Givers that also, talks about philanthropy and rescue missions, where people, it's so diverse. And of course, we also exhibit to showcase what career opportunities there are in the business events industry.
Sounds lovely if you live in Cape Town.
Well, believe it or not, we've got exhibitors coming from as far as Durban, from Gauteng, because it's very humbling to see how much the country is actually supporting this. It's not a Cape Town thing.
I guess I'm just making the point about access. In other words, We know where the CTIC is
Yes.
in terms of its location in Cape
Yes.
Town, but whether you are in Soweto or Khayelitsha, how does this
I know.
expo benefit you?
I know. At the moment, because of our partnership with the Gift of the Givers, they bus people in from as far as Worcester, where people will be in buses for about 5 hours to come, and we're looking at over 6,000, maybe 8,000 students and young people that will come with families this time around in August. However, what you're saying is that right now it's only benefiting people that can afford.
Yeah, you could
to
do it
travel.
have an online element, maybe
Yes.
put videos, put them on YouTube.
We're actually thinking of maybe moving it, having it twice a year. One in the Western Cape, and maybe doing another, iteration in Gauteng, for instance.
Or just have an audiovisual element and then
Yes.
put it there so that
Yes.
people can get in touch with the exhibitors outside of the
Maybe
space.
we must talk to Prime Media.
We are a media company.
Absolutely.
We exist to serve.
Absolutely.
We can help you out. Because I
think
think it's such an important conversation, and it's such an important opportunity
Mhm.
because you've got both the exhibitors who are
Yeah.
saying, here are career options. I think many a parent, certainly many a grade 11, 12
Yes.
learner will identify with, I don't know what to do next. I'm bright, I'm talented, I'm hopeful, but I don't know what comes next
Yeah.
in my life, as you were saying. And sometimes it's that missed opportunity between the market that seeks skills and
Mhm.
doesn't know how to communicate what it
Mhm.
needs, and those learners who need to learn and acquire those skills so as to be able to provide services to that market.
the market,
And you are
absolutely.
giving this opportunity and this platform for the two to
Yeah.
meet and to have those conversations. And I certainly think it's a great idea to have it at the Cape Town International Convention Center. But maybe we can make the circle
Grow.
bigger and put it
Absolutely.
online.
I agree.
And think of all those people that will see your conference facilities as well
Oh,
in,
yes.
in the picture.
No, I'm taking up the challenge. Thank you so much, Bongani.
Thank you
We
so much.
really are going to take up the challenge. And thank you for the opportunity to talk about it.
The children are our future. I think this is a
Yep.
fantastic investment, not only in Cape Town, but indeed in the future of South Africa. Investing in young people is the way to go. Appreciate your time. Toby Motlhabane is the CEO of the CTICC, a corporate that cares.
7:02.
More than a radio station.
Let's walk the talk.
Oh, and look at the time. It's 9 o'clock. The Clement Manyatela Show starts now.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The defense is expected to continue cross-examining the state's first witness in the attempt. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The defense is expected to continue cross-examining the state's first witness in the attempted murder trial of alleged crime boss Vusmuzi Ket Matlala and his 4 co-accused. Today is the third day of proceedings. Matlala, his wife Tsakani, along with Musa Kekana, Tiego Mbuisela and Tabiseng Nzama face a total of 20